Nope. Okay, so first off, it's just like so great to see you guys today. I'm gonna move my camera up a little. Our cat did physically swing from the curtains and knock down our entire, you can see the curtain rod. Like literally like on my first call this morning, went full cave cat and just went for it. So apologies for, I just noticed that was like hanging there and I'm like, awesome. Love that. Redoing The Office very soon. But I am just really excited for you guys. We're just gonna get into a lot of like really like growth focused things for this upcoming round. And I am just like, I'm really, really excited because I thought of some ideas that I think would be really cool. And I know that Morgan is not a coach, but I looked up a statistic that I found really, really interesting because I was wondering what percentage of coaches make six figures. I was like, I wonder, like, there are so many coaches. I'm like, how much do coaches actually make? And the average income is 38,000 a year. I was like, oh, that is really interesting. And I also found out that 0.02%, not like in because then here's what I thought about this. I was like, just 0.02% actually makes six figures a year. And I just think that's like so, I think that's too low. I'm like, and I know that for you guys, it's like we are kind of in a unique container where like everybody's working and striving to be like in the top, not only 1%, but the 0.02%. Like we are trying to be the best of the best in the coaching industry. And I'm just so glad that you guys are all like here. And I wanted to talk to you because I was thinking about like for the next round. I know I talked about doing an alumni round and I've come up with a different idea. So, like I mentioned, I think last week, that I want to do the next round as 2,500. So it's going to be half of the cost of the mastermind. But I was thinking about ways that I could like still continue to support you. And I'm like, what would feel like awesome for you guys? So on Thursdays, I'm going to be doing a new call. It's going to be an extra call every single week. There's going to be a 1 hour call, and the purpose of the call is going to be different each time. So I want to focus on doing a alumni call for just anyone who wants to come. Like you guys are alumni, so it's like anyone who wants to come, for the new people that might be coming in at like at a more I think that they're actually like very mature, but I do think that like, when you start something new, you're always like a little nervous. So it's like if they're asking a lot of questions on our coaching call, I want to make sure I have a call for that. I'm also going to have a offer accelerator. So the next call each month is going to be something to focus on troubleshooting and like really getting into the nitty-gritty, looking at your data, looking at things that are like moving your business forward. We're still doing that on the regular calls, but this is just for people who are like really wanting to focus on like, okay, if I am maybe missing my numbers for some reason, why? Let's like fucking figure it out and like get this going. The other thing I wanted to do is I want to one of the things that I loved about 200K was like there were clubs. Like it was like kind of like, it's like tiers of income. And I found that the conversations that I was having with people at different incomes were just very different. So I'm going to do a 60K club where every third Thursday of the month, we're going to meet and we're going to talk about like, okay, you've got a solid six figures. I think that like getting to a five-figure business is extremely important for you to scale to six figures. So it's going to be just for people who have made 60K and more and troubleshooting the issues that are happening there. And that's probably the issues that are like, okay, I'm getting more consults, I'm getting booked. I need to figure out, do I raise my prices? Do I change my offer a little bit? Those kind of questions are going to be in that call. And eventually there's going to be a six-figure club. for anybody who's at six figures that are potentially looking to add another offer, that are getting the higher level issues, that are like, okay, I'm like, now it's like, I've got my mindset stuff done, but what are all the ways that I can brainstorm? And everyone's going to be invited to those calls initially. And as more people start to hit those benchmarks, my goal is that like to serve you guys in the best way possible. And that was a way that I was like, how can I make this like awesome for anybody who is thinking about returning? And that was my solution. Not always the solution to add on things, but I figured that would be really fun for you guys. So that is coming in April, which is actually, I'm going to start doing that. Yeah, I'm going to start doing that in April. So it's not going to be for you guys in the middle of the round. It's going to be next round. But that is just a little tidbit and things to get your brain going to get started today. And also, I know that you guys like to, I know I was always curious about like when my coach, Stacy, and things like that, they would always like add or change things. And I was like, why are they doing this? And I was like, ooh, okay, I've got like ideas. And I just have a whole page of like improvements for each round. Sometimes informed by feedback, other times I'm like, okay, I just see this as like something I want to do. And that's where I got this idea from. So I am excited for this next round. And I'm just excited to coach you guys. Like 3 weeks left. Let's fucking go. Who wants coaching to start with a win?
Who goes first? Symmetria and I. We're both gonna go. So
I was like, yeah, already. I was like, I got you. I know
first
that
off,
there are
I
a
want to
couple.
reiterate how I very much liked one of Symmetria's posts. I even shared it in my story. It was so good, the swanky one. But she knows because we've been talking about it.
That's so
Have
good.
you seen it?
No, I haven't. I'm
Swanky,
like, please show
single
me.
woman, no kids, and saying yes to life. This is swanky. This is so good.
Oh my God. I was like, who is she? I was like, I know that you were
And I was
a
like, well, I'm swanky half of my lifetime because I've got my kids half of the time. This one, I
yes,
thought it was so good.
more travel, new career. It's like, ma'am, we love this. We need more of this. This is so freaking good. So I love that.
The So my win, I think, is that finally, from the 3 consultations I did since January, the first one I did was a work colleague.
Mhm.
So money was sent in, and we're starting on Friday for 3 months.
Amazing.
And also my classroom is ready, all the material, like I was able to send an onboarding email with access to the Google Classroom. I've already have a tracker things. I mean, it's like another level, I think. It
I'm
feels
so,
really professional. And
that's
now I can't
so,
wait to just coach, obviously, because that's just one thing. It's
yes.
just the supportive things. But yeah. Um, and I have taken a new position at work,
Oh, nice.
which I think is going to be a great challenge because I had been doing the same for 8 years, which I
Yeah.
find ways to reinvent myself, but it's more responsibilities, a little bit more pay. I just want to make sure it's not an excuse for me not to do the coaching, but I don't think so, actually. I think it's gonna give me even more energy and creativity because it's a bigger project, and it involves working with more people, bringing more people together. So I really want to use it for the coaching business too.
And the cool thing is, within your life, it's like you can always choose to use every circumstance for you. I was talking
Yeah,
with a friend of mine
exactly.
about that. It's like, okay, it's like I just got a new position at work, and it is going to be the way that I'm up leveling my
Yeah,
self-concept to grow this business too,
exactly.
which we love. Okay, so tell me.
Um,
Okay.
there's the webinar upcoming also in 2 weeks. My last series of the, then I'm gonna take a
Mhm.
break. So it's gonna be about self-confidence.
How are you feeling about it?
Oh, pretty good. It's going to be called Boost Your Confidence.
Love.
And
Very cool.
I've been really thinking self-confidence is really one of the major things because this is what I really worked on. And I was thinking actually this morning, like, it's really my thing because divorce really shakes your self-confidence, like makes you question your self-worth, value all of the things, lovability. And this is the main thing that really got me to to the next level, like working on that every single day, despite everything happening.
Yes.
And I even remember was it at Miami at Work Hard, Play Hard, I had met a coach and I didn't know my niche at that point. But I remember the one thing that I said is like, I just want to help other women feeling more confident because then they can achieve anything. Uh, so I'm just thinking about it and how to make it clearer in all my messaging. Um,
The Tell me more. You feel like your messaging is like needing
but
a
it's
little
good. It's
clarity?
also pretty good. But like because even if you go on my social, it's in between my program, the pillars, and everything about divorcing. And I don't feel like I want to be a divorce coach, but it's bigger
Yeah.
than that. It's using adversity to grow yourself. But I'm doing both. Like now, what I try to do is my first reel, my first post of the week. It's more related to divorce and how I made it like such a great opportunity for me instead of like letting it take me down.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I'm just like self-doubt, how like to move from self-doubt to self-confidence. Anyways, it's just thinking about it, and I'm not thinking about changing anything, but and I remember even when I did the certification, like self-confidence at that time came at the end. I was like, oh, it makes so much sense, but this would have made so much sense at the beginning
At the
too.
beginning. Yeah.
So it was like it made so much sense at the end because I was able to understand that because I went through the whole certification videos and teaching and stuff. But at the same point, I would have needed a little bit more of that at the beginning, maybe not. So, anyways, I'm just thinking about things. But I think what's on my mind is that I want to have more clients, more of that.
I was about to say when there's clarity, it's like if the messaging is looking for clarity, then we want to get clear about your goal first. It's like how many people am I looking to sign? What kind of things does that create for me? Because if you want to be clear about your messaging, then we need to figure out what your goal is. So how many more clients would you like to work with?
Well, so it's one. So I've always said it's 10 per year. So 9 more clients.
Okay.
But 9 more paid clients. I want to make it sure because I'm also coaching for my organization. Like I'm taking on one client. It's not a paid client. So, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that my mind is like, oh, like it's like I just pay clients.
Mm-hmm. And so it's like if
Actually,
we
private clients because I'm being paid because this is part of my job when I
yeah,
do it for my organization, but it's a private paid client anyways.
you want them in the decision coaching world. That's like your goal is to create this like community within the one-on-one clients and then to branch out. I know your bigger picture. And so if we're thinking about actually enlighten me, I think I know what your bigger picture is. After this year, what do you want to create?
After 2024,
Mhm.
it's kind of like I just don't want to think about it.
Okay,
Well,
interesting.
I mean, it's always been that I've been telling myself and people, I mean, the goal at some point is to transition and to become a full-time coach.
Okay.
Um, but actually, maybe not sure because I'm loving doing both for now. And I have to say that my full-time job really gives me a lot of benefits. I mean, between the vacation, the health insurance for me and my kids, the 401k and all of that, I'm like, for now, this is not something I'm ready to give up on as a
So
single mom.
if you're thinking about that, if you're like, okay, I want to get these, I think that's why the messaging needs some clarity. Because if we don't know who your future self is within this
Yeah.
goal, it's so much easier to go be like, okay, 3 years from now, this is what I want to be like. Let me start acting like her today. So let's decide in 2025 that you want to be part-time still.
I'm full-time.
I'm
I think actually, to be honest, I don't think I want to transition like I think it's really what makes this so meaningful is that I can do both. And then
yes.
it's like And this is very powerful. Like people think they cannot do the things, they don't have the time. And by doing both the full time and growing my private coaching practice, yeah, actually, I don't want to be a full-time coach like next year. I want to continue exploring ways and growing the business while having the full-time job and using the full-time job as an opportunity to grow my business.
Okay.
I think like I don't think, do you know what I mean?
Oh, I do. And I'm like, so I think that's why it's like you've had clarity, these 9 clients, and you're like, I want more clients. But if we think about like the bigger vision for this business, if we can think about the movement that you're creating with your marketing into the future, I think it's going to give you the clarity that you've been looking for. So if you're thinking about like what, like it's like, do you want to maybe like eventually do retreats? Do you want to have a course? Do you want to do a group? Like, is that if you've got 9 hours, 10 hours a week to devote to coaching, maybe next year you could still, do you want to support more than 10 people
Mm.
or do you want to support less? Do you want to support the same? I was like, that's totally up to you. But I think that like if you're like, hey, I just want more clients right now without the bigger picture, I think what happens is you lose. That's why I think the clarity is missing.
Um,
So in 2025, we know you want to stay full time in job.
yeah.
When I was saying those things like retreats, like group, is there anything that you were like, ooh, I want
So I was thinking retreats, not now. Though I know I could do it because this is what I do in my job, I organize events. So it would be so freaking awesome. But a group, I've always been thinking about that because even the way I'm structuring right now, my one-on-one is kind of like clearly going into a group thing for sure.
and you have a
But
classroom
then
now.
what comes to mind too is that I really want to be the downtown life coach. Like, I live Tribeca, financial districts. Like sometimes I go in the street and I recognize women who have built businesses here in downtown Manhattan and I know them. And I want to be one of those people too, like, oh, that's the life coach. Or like, oh, that's
Hmm.
so this is the two things that are coming to mind. Like, yeah.
The biggest piece here. So I think that if you're the downtown life coach, you're like, I'm known in the industry. Does it mean that you coach other people that are downtown?
Yeah, like New Yorkers, like people who are like just struggling being New Yorkers.
Yes. Okay.
They can't stand their kids, they fight with their partners, they think dating is hard, women who like feel self-doubt because, living in New York is hard, like all the things.
Okay. So I want you to think about that version of you, that downtown life coach that is like, I help you with all things. Like it and people like know you in the streets. And so I'm envisioning like, oh my God, wait, oh, like on at like what's that fancy
It's
gym?
like the new thing is not to go to your therapist, is to go to your life coach downtown. Like people are like, oh,
Yes.
I've tried the life coaching thing.
Yes. It's like, ooh, okay. And it's like, oh yeah, you don't have a coach? Oh my God, you should totally get a coach. Harmony's like the best coach. And she's helped me. She's gotten me a raise. She's like incredible. And it's not Evian. What is the name of that gym that everybody goes to, like the fancy one?
Equinox.
Equinox. Okay. So it's like
Mm.
I'm picturing like these like people at a cycle class and they're like, oh, we're getting ready for cycle. It's like, oh my God, it's like, let me tell you about what my coach just told me. It's like she's just amazing. And like it's like, oh my God, you look amazing. It's like I actually have lost like some weight because of my life coach. It's like all those things that I want you to see that you being her now helps you to create the content that you want, that they want. And the more you can think about these people, the better and faster. And not even that you want to get there faster, but it's like the more people you're going to be able to like be like, oh, like life coaching is the shit. Everyone needs a coach. It's awesome. Do you see what I mean? Like that shift internally. So it's
Yeah.
like if we're thinking about these people right now, within your, if you want to get these 9 more clients, what do they need to hear to sign up with you?
What comes to mind is like there is more than just existing and struggling. You can be thriving and living in New York City.
If we're thinking about like, where are these people? Now we're gonna
Everywhere,
do this
walking
to
in the
your,
street.
right, is it, like, where do they all meet in a place that you could
Uh,
lead? And if they aren't meeting, so mine is like, I really feel like I could help coaches and any solopreneur that has an online business. Honestly, I'm like, even for graphic designers to personal stylists, I'm like, I'm looking at their marketing, and I'm like, especially like with things on the future, I'm like looking at like photographers and things like that, and I'm like, their marketing is awful. I was like, I have no idea what they do, not in like a loving way, where it's like, oh my goodness, like I have no idea what they offer. I'm like, do you do video? It's like, it's just confusing. And so it's like, if I was like, I realized that my people who are the solopreneurs who want to do more, they want to strive for the 6-figure plus mark. They're like, I want to be like doing something, I want this to be my full-time gig. One of the things that I've noticed is that there's nothing in Raleigh for anyone who's a coach, for anyone who is a solopreneur. I went to the Chamber of Commerce and they have nothing. And so I was like, if these people who are my people, it's like, so these are your people, right? We know these are your people, the people who are struggling with this. It's like, I can point them out in a crowd. This is my person. They're struggling and they want more. They're struggling and they want to go striving. If we know that these people exist and you don't yet know where they're gathering, then we make it for them. And I'm like, I'm contacting the Chamber of Commerce in June. And I'm like, you need a group for solopreneurs. You need a group. There's no place for online businesses. It's all brick and mortars. I considered leaving and I would like to lead this for you. This is what I would offer. Pay me this to lead this part. Like, who knows? That's like I was saying. But I'm like, again, if these people, you're just seeing the what I'm hearing you're like, they're on the streets, right?
Well, I mean, it's the PTA. And actually, I'm offering a life coaching
A
item in
raffle,
auction.
right?
Well,
Mhm.
actually, auction. It went from
Right.
raffle item to auction.
Which is,
And I'm like, oh my God, nobody's going to bid on that. But I mean, come on.
why
Anyway, so
wouldn't
I
they,
called it the
why,
life coaching experience because most of them don't know what life coaching is. So it's a
and
4 month,
okay,
one
what
month.
is the result that they get from a life coaching experience?
I don't remember what I said, but it's pretty clear on the thing. I don't know. I would have to open my
Okay, just go back. Why would no one bid on it? It's because they don't see the
No, no,
value.
no, but it's fine. I'm not gonna go over that. Like, I don't want to be
No,
coaching
but
that.
I'm
It's
saying
gonna
that
be fine.
in your, this is the reason why I'm saying this, just play with
Ah,
it
because
for a
why?
second.
Well,
If
they
you're
think they
not clear
don't
about
need
the
it.
result in
Like
your this
they
right
think
now, just
they don't need it. They think, yeah, I don't need anyone to help me.
okay. So different direction. These people, why would they bid on something? Why would they bid on coaching?
Because it's different from any item that's there.
Okay.
Um,
What will they
because
get from working with
because
you?
they're interested, they're curious, and like, oh well, I might as well contribute to my kids'
Okay, so if you want
fundraiser.
to take them for, I think curious is great. Let's go to compelling. Let's think about like, okay, it's like, what would compel them to bid on yours more than other people's? And this is the kind of energy you need to bring to your marketing, is why I'm like going on this angle. Oh, you're like, why are we going down this? And I'm like, if you're like, my messaging needs some clarity, if you are like, this is the best thing at the auction and everyone's gonna want this. It's like, I'm going to give you 60 minutes and we are going to do like, like, they don't know what coaching is. Yeah, they might be curious, but like, what is the result they get from this coaching experience? If you are becoming the new therapist for all humans in New York City, the more clear you can get on this quickly, the better.
It's interesting. I'm just like, I don't want to answer that question.
Why?
I'm resisting answering because I'm like, no, it's
It's just curious.
yeah, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm tired of like explaining people that the life can be so different and they can have just a much better experience overall. They can have clarity on their goals, what they want to do, why they're not doing it, and they can achieve anything they put their mind on whatever. Um,
Okay, do you see how like it's like, I don't think that I think that like your brain's like they should just know what coaching is.
yeah, though I'm just like, no, I just go back into no, they think it's great, but it's not for them.
What do you do when you feel when you think the thought that's not for them?
Mm.
What's the emotion that comes up when you think that?
Well, I'm just oh, too bad.
Is it apathetic?
Yeah,
So, what do you do when you're feeling apathetic and you think it's not
well,
for them?
nothing. I go on with my thing and what I have currently, but I'm not trying to do more.
And you're also like, and also like, let's just,
So what comes to me is that they're not going to relate to it because I'm doing that because I'm divorced and I'm single. Most of them are just in a relationship. They've been married forever. They have kids and not even, I know they're struggling in their marriage, but they're not. So I'm like, we're not kind of the same. We're not the same kind. And yeah.
and I know that I want you to think about like when your brain is off, why? Like, okay, so it's like it's thinking about ways that you're not the same, right?
Mm.
If you're thinking it's not for them, you're just like, yeah, apathetic. Like, kind of like you take it or leave it. It's gonna be the best thing there, but like, what else are you not doing?
Well, I'm not trying to connect. I'm not trying to listen. I'm not trying. I am not being the life coach. I'm not being, hey, whatever your energy is, I'm not going to match it. Well, this is when I'm coaching with you because when I don't think like when I'm showing up, when I'm telling people, I go into that place like, hey, you might not be there yet, but I'm here and I can help you. I really stay in that energy. It's just like you coaching me, so I'm just telling you everything.
Yeah,
Like I really, yeah.
I and when
But
we met,
maybe
you
not,
were
because otherwise I
so
would have more clients.
probably right. It's like exactly if life coaching is so great, why would like I want you to think about like have you ever gone into a room when someone's like, prove yourself to me? Like, I don't know, I'm kind of judging you a little bit. It's like this kind of like energy where you're like, I literally this morning at the yoga studio, there are these lovely, lovely women, and it's just such a cool experience psychologically to just like observe. And it's like these women who are definitely like quite cliquey, love to gossip, and are very they give harsh words to humans. And I'm just like, that's not my way. But it's just funny. That like we try I know you and I know that you are extremely inclusive, but I think that your brain is trying to protect you from putting yourself out there with them in some way.
Well, but I think like I am doing like everybody knows, like it's pretty clear. Like I do it all the time. I think I'm putting myself, well, maybe not like I'm not hiding it. Everybody knows it. Like, oh, now Harmony is a life coach. Even my kids in the street are saying, oh, my mom is a life coach.
Which is so
Uh,
cool. And maybe if more people like So if they know it, why aren't they booking?
Well, it's like why people aren't going to therapists. It's a hard thing to do. They don't want to put themselves out there. It's easier for them to continue with their daily struggle. It's better for
Okay,
them.
okay.
This is
There
what
are
they know.
some
They don't know a different way.
percentage of people see therapists. Your brain is looking 30% that see a therapist, right? So I think that there might be people that are not wanting to put themselves out there and things like that, but there are 30% who are and want it. Why haven't they booked with you?
Because therapy is covered by insurance.
Okay. How can you be more compelling than therapy?
Well, I know I am because my clients tell me it's more efficient than therapy, but I don't want to be putting
Why?
this messaging out too much because I'm like, I don't want to put down the therapy world. And I've been in
Yeah.
therapy too, and I'm like, I know it was just, and my therapist asked me to go on medication, and I did it, and I regretted it, and I stopped it on my own. So I'm like, therapy. And I remember at some point she was like, I don't know how I can help you anymore. I'm like, yeah. And so I'm like, therapy.
Hmm. I-
And then I have people telling me coaching with me has been way more efficient than therapy, but I'm like, but I can't say that to people. That it didn't work for me. It was awful. And that coaching changed everything. And that, I don't know, it feels like I'm putting other people down.
well, I want you to put other people down, but I want you to think about why did your clients book with you instead of therapy? Why
Well, it's
is
just
it
because
more?
they're seeing me, which when we exchange it, they're seeing the energy, and then they're seeing like I'm doing what I said I would do. And I am putting myself out there. Like I didn't want divorce, but I did. I didn't want like I'm just renewing and reinventing myself.
Okay, okay, so this renewing
I'm a friend of mine asked me recently, how do you keep on going?
because you're constantly in the state of striving in your life.
Yeah,
Now,
because life is too short. Like when I go back 20 years from now, and I look back, I don't want to have regrets.
yes,
Like
same.
all the things that I haven't done that I had an idea about. So I want, and I think I'm doing it, but
Yeah, I know you are, but it's like they don't see that. It's like the 30% of people, there are 30% of people, it's like what percentage of population work with life coaches, okay? I want them to choose you. It's like, I was like, try to find just one freaking statistic. I'm like, it's like how many people are actually working with coaches? But it's like they're looking for financial investments. They're saying that it's good or excellent. Companies are saying that they get, it's like, yeah, we know the benefits, but like how many people? Anyways, it's like I'm sure it's a ton of people that are trying to work with coaches. Why? Let's get like let's figure out what they would need to book with you versus and let's say it's the 30% who want it. They're like, I really want this reinvention. I didn't know that this is what coaching is. Like I've been to therapy and we don't need to say therapy didn't work for me. It's like things like that or like anything like but it's like, why is it different? Why is it more efficient? If you can get clear about that, then that's what we need to compel people to. I am sure there are people at the PTA that want to work with you. I don't think you have that thought though.
half of the time.
Okay. Well, that's at least more than none
I
of the
know
time.
because my first client was someone from the PTA, so I have the proof here.
I know. So what would it
So
look like to be if you want to be the kind of person that's like, I'm the new therapist. If you want to strive, coaching is for you, right?
like I feel like I'm in that stage where people think I'm so inspiring, but then I'm not at like, oh, but I want to work with you.
Why?
So
Like, what would it take them if they're inspired, they're already in the positive emotion of taking action in some way. They're following you, they're doing all this stuff.
I don't know.
Right. Okay. So like if we did
Uh,
know, so it's like I was like, it's like you could do a whole post about
because
why,
it's another thing in their life they're gonna have to do, and they think they already don't have the time. I think that's
huh?
it's gonna require effort. Like nothing happens to you, and yeah, I don't know.
You,
Maybe.
you see what I'm saying? And like I want every single person to think about like, why haven't they booked a call? And answer this in your marketing. It's like, why is it worth the time and effort? No regret.
You only
Huh?
have one shot.
You only have one shot at this life. Let's make it count. And if I was already inspired by you, and I'm like, I want you to imagine their journey, right? The more that we can think about them versus ourselves, the better your marketing is going to be every time. So it's like, I want you to picture that a person is following you and they're looking at your stuff and they're like, she is so inspiring. I like really like her. And then they hear for themselves, life is too short. Live a life without regrets. Book a consult with me. It's like, I'll show you how 6 months from now, you will be living the life that you had hoped you would live 6 years from now.
Oh, for me, it's like the life you haven't even imagined was possible. Like
Yes.
you have no idea. Like you haven't even thought about that was possible for you.
Right. Do you see how this, when we were talking about clarity in your marketing, it's like, give it a shot versus like, this is your shot. Let's make it count. Do you see the difference?
Yeah, yeah.
Give it a shot. I was like, I didn't realize it's like,
This was another big hit. Almost 2,000 views.
of course. So it's like, we want to take that and like, for the things that are getting a lot of views, follow me for more and being like, it's like, but then they come onto your page, it's like, we want to give them more, right? It's like, what would be the next step for them? Okay, they followed you, then what?
Oh yeah, you're saying I'm not said yeah, yeah, that's true. I'm not doing enough offers. Book a consult with me.
Not,
A little bit less
I would
offers.
say like just like in your stories or things like that. It's like when they come, they want to take action. Someone who is successful at selling is very good at getting people to take the next action to move forward. So it's like, I want you to like in your marketing to be like, and like this is just PTA, it's just one example of how it's showing up. So it's like, it's not just about the PTA, but it's like, what would it take for all the PTA people to be like, this is like the best thing ever? Like, we love it's like, and especially because someone's already done it. A lot of times, like people go with groupthink, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's a huge like thing. If you can bring all those people forward, what would it look like for them to be like super excited about this? And then if you could figure out a way to get the PTA super excited about you, think about how that's gonna just the skill of being able to compel people into action in person to spend money on something they don't know exists for them. That's the shift I want you to step into as like the new therapist for New York City. So what are you with the life coach experience? I know I'm like, we're gonna, but I think that just by harping on this one thing, I think I've already seen you shifting to think more about them. So it's like, if we were to just think about this one thing, when is the auction?
April 3rd, I think. Actually, it's
I,
coming up soon.
I know. I was like, what would you need? What would they need to be like, oh my God, like, I don't care if no one else has like voted on this. This is the first thing I see it. I'm like, yes, I want this. How much is it? There's no price on it. So it's like,
The value is yeah, well, there's the value price.
okay. So within that, what would they take for all these women who are surrounded by their friends that are like all voting on stuff to vote on you? people are spending their money. We need to get them to spend money with you.
Well, I'm thinking that during that gala, I would be managing the raffle thing, but then I should introduce myself, say, hey, I've put a life coaching package on auction. It's gonna mean working with me.
Are you doing it for a whole 6 months?
No, for 1 month, 4
Okay.
sessions. The initial assessment and 4 sessions. So during that, we're gonna focus on the one thing they wanna work on.
This is what you need to say in your marketing for the auction. You need to be like, what is one thing that you've been putting off, not just for the past 2 months, but for this year? That's what you're going to do starting with when you work with me. You will be the person. It's like I'm envisioning like it's like talking about like the snowball effect. It's like if it's like here and give them some examples. Like what are something that you want to do in these 4 sessions? Like to meet your she is like the branding. You've got the closet organization. Like those are things that like you know what I mean? It's like that's the curation like piece of it. Like a paint the vision for them. They're not as creative as you. Because they haven't had their brains blown by an awesome fucking coach. Like they, especially if you're like, they haven't even imagined it, but I'm not going to paint a vision for them anything different than they have. Like, I'm like, well, we should probably paint some visions. Like, let's just paint it. Like, what can they do in 4 sessions? Do they want to be more organized? Do they want to get the house shit done? Do they want to plan out the rest of their year? Do they want to learn how to plan a vacation like a badass?
Well, I go back and forth between it depends on what they want to work on.
Give them like 10 examples or like 5 examples. Let's give
Okay.
what are 5 examples of things that people work with that they could work on with you?
Time management.
But
Well,
what
I
like
have 6 pillars.
specifically?
Well, creating more time for the things or like work-life balance or
Get a little bit more. It's like, what is the thing at 2 p.m. that they are struggling with? Why do they need time management?
working out more, taking time for themselves without the kids more.
Okay, which like do they actively tell you it's like they need time for themselves?
Oh yeah, they don't have time for themselves
It's like
because there's
make
always something with the kids or the partner.
okay. Um for yourself. What are things that it's like that is a tangible result. They're like, so they are being sold a Equinox membership. They're being sold a boat or whatever the fuck. How can we make them be like,
A
oh,
buttocks, yeah, I
shit.
think there is that too.
You know what I mean? It's like there might literally be a boat. I'm like, oh my God. Okay. So it's like we need to be like, this is what everyone needs to think about. You are competing for marketing. You're competing for attention. You're competing for income. Why are they spending money with you? That's what we need to get clear on. You know what I mean? So they want to work out more. It's like have them, it's like they want to like look, it's like, do they want to eat better? Do they want to lose weight?
Yeah, all
Like, do you
of
see
that.
how
They
it's
want
like
to have a better relationship with their spouse, with their kids.
now the
They
spouse
want
is
to have
probably going to be there.
clarity of what's coming next. No, no, what?
I was like, the spouse is probably going to be there. So I think for somebody to vote on
Yeah, but
something,
they
like,
know
I
better
know they
relationships, better.
harmony, but they're, would you be like, my relationship sucks. I'm going to put it on here for
Okay.
everybody to see. Nobody would do that.
Well, fight less then.
Okay. It's like
No, it's not good. I shouldn't
healthy
talk about that.
relationship with kids. I would avoid that. I think that like if you want
Okay.
to, we want to make him as comfortable and feel as safe as possible to show up and take action in front of other people. Like this isn't like an Instagram thing. This is like, and I think that like if every single person thought about like what would it take for someone to take action on me more than other things, that's what's going on online. If you can show up stronger on Instagram, it's going to get even better. Like with this. So healthy relationships, bet with their and I would say like with their kids.
Well, I don't even want to put that.
They're at the PTA event because they have kids, right? So we got to meet them where they're at and sell them what they want. It's like, do you want to
Well,
have
it's being less anxious about their kids' future, like just being like trusting the kids, like trusting that um yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like if you can get curious about them, It's like they want to work out more so they can have a be the fittest. It's like fittest you've been. So I'm gonna
which
teach you
is my
how to manage your
case.
time, do this. You know what I mean? It's like, do you see how that's so much more compelling than like curious? It's like, I want to teach you how to work out more. I want to help you future plan for your children. I want to teach you how to make time for yourself so
Well,
that
I wanted you how to commit to work on more, how to commit to make more time for yourself, how to commit. No?
exactly. And so it's like that, but we want to sell them that like the way you do that is through coaching. They're not bridging the gap because you're not bridging it for them. Do you see that? Like it's like if you can bridge the gap to be like you haven't worked out more because you don't know how to manage your time. When we coach together, we're gonna audit your time. We're gonna figure out what is missing. We're gonna make that happen. Think about your pillars. Okay, so we want stronger relationships with their kids. What are your pillars? Let's write them out. Okay, so it's like,
Future plan, so it's goal setting and
do they
annual
work?
plan. Yeah, most of no, half of them work, half of them are stay-at-home
Let's
moms.
just say like future planning for your children because that's the
But I
commonality.
think what I found about women, even though they work or they don't, is like they just are lacking direction. It's just happening for them, but they're not thinking about themselves, they're thinking about the family.
Okay, so it's
And
like,
so they don't have a clear, yeah, vision of themselves.
isn't one relationships?
No, relationship is a bonus. We go, I think we work on the relationship because it always comes up. Yeah, but yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. Let me pull up your pillars.
It's confidence, it's future plan, it's time
Confidence.
management, is emotion regulation through, I mean, through stress management, but actually it's really not being triggered, not as acting from being triggered.
Okay, so it's time
So
management, goals, direction, confidence. What else?
and decisions, obviously.
Decision. But there's one more then.
It's
One
six, so this is it. But it's not relationship, it's time management, emotional regulation, which is stress management, but it's
stress.
only
Okay,
stress.
there you go.
Um,
I would write this shit out if you have a chance to for the meeting. And I'd be like, here are the 6 things I do. I help you manage your time. For instance, you can work out more and be the fittest you've ever been. I help you with your stress. I help you with goals. I help you with direction to create a stronger contribution. Would you work with men too?
oh yeah, I've worked with men, but I've never
Okay.
had a paid client as a man.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's like if we're thinking about what do men and women need, Nadia, we're talking about this is such a good activity. I think everyone should do it. Army has this awesome opportunity to put an auction item for coaching. And it's like, why are people going to spend money with Harmony versus anything else at this auction? What is going to make her so compelling that they're like, I would rather vote on you than a boat. It's selling the intangibles at the level of compelling as the tangibles. It's like that's why you want more money. You want it because you want to be confident. You know, it's like the reason why you want to go on a boat is because you want to look like a badass.
Yeah, I was thinking like I feel like men already have so much confidence, like way too much, like they're overconfident. But actually
Okay,
no,
okay, let's
because when
go
I'm
with the
seeing my ex-husband, the reason there was something like he was very, I don't know if it was lack of confidence, because for him, he was like, no, this is being irrational. The reason why you wouldn't ask, he was worth $2 million, but he was only making $1 million. He's a neurosurgeon. Like I had other people telling me he's worth 2 million, but he would not ask for more. He would be really, and so I guess that's the confidence that men have. So confidence to make more money, I'm not sure.
Okay, oh, it's like, and so it might be like more money and impact. So it's like for the women that aren't working, that could be a big thing.
Yeah.
And then why do they need to make better decisions?
Well, because this is the only way they move forward, because they're not making decisions. It's just sorts
Okay,
of to
move forward
propel
to
their
what?
life, to
Are
how
you
to
hearing this?
build.
Is like, if we can get this clear on your marketing, Harmony, it's going to fucking kill. And you've gotten glimpses of it. I just don't think it's been as intentional. Like it's like you've it's like you're hitting confidence here, you're hitting time management, but it's like deserving something bigger. It's like if we can be like deserving something bigger, you can have the body you want, and I'm going to show you how. Do you see how it's like taking it from like, oh, I like her. I'm getting to know her, but now I'm like I want that. It's compelling. So it's like, what are they moving forward to? The life, give them
Well, for me,
something
it's always
else.
like, so then you can build the life you truly desire, like that thing.
What
But it,
what
I
is
feel it's
one thing?
very, uh,
Just one thing. Like you see how it's like, yes, time management can help them with anything, closet, things like this. But we're giving them one small example that can zoom out. With stress, stronger relationships with their kid, they can actually picture going home and not having a fight about homework. And this is like, I want you to like do a post about each of these things. I think it'd be helpful. But it's like I want you to imagine like a future plan for yourself and for your children that is like better than you've ever imagined. What would that look like with the direction? Making it's like future
I think
planning,
we can put future planning for yourself, because the kids it's before,
and let's
and
just
they
put
have to think more
2024.
about themselves. Yeah.
It's like plan out all of 2024. When you it's like for these 4 sessions, it's gonna be the most badass 4 sessions ever.
Well, I guess the decisions is what we're starting with, is like the one thing they've putting off for years, been thinking about, and they haven't been doing.
What can you give me an example of one?
It could be a solo, well, this is because this is what I'm doing, the solo trip. Well, I guess for them it's a girls thing. So,
You see how you're
uh,
judging? There's just like this tiny tinge of like, but for them, they're not my people.
yeah.
Your brain is like, they're very different. And I'm like, what if they weren't? What if they want to go on
Well,
a
so yeah, that's like their bucket list. Whatever
bucket
is their
list?
bucket list, like crossing off one of your bucket list items. Well, bucket list is not only for vacation, it's like all the things that you want to do in life. And so it can be so different
I,
from people. So I'm like,
I think
um,
that most people do have an idea of a bucket list. I would say that at least people who would vote on this would want that. But do you see how like this gets the people going? Are you feeling the difference between like, I just want them to be curious versus like, I want them to be compelled? Because I just think that like it's like this is such a great opportunity for you to really step into this energy. Now, if you were the downtown life coach, okay, that is helping everyone who's struggling, and you put this auction item out, and you were doing this webinar, it's like I think there are 2 opportunities: auction, marketing, webinar, web marketing going towards a webinar. And when you think about like that badass version that's like walking down the street and people are like, oh my God, that's Harmony. She's like the best. Oh my God, I know somebody that worked with her. She got a raise in like 2 weeks.
but
Oh my,
this is literally what people said. I had someone the other time, I entered a place like, oh my God, the energy you came in the room. But
all right.
then
It's
it's
like
just like, and just
visible.
inspiring.
Right.
That's
We're just like, we're like, oh my God, you're amazing. But we have a goal to get 9 awesome people to work with you. Okay. So with that goal in mind, what was she thinking? This like awesome downtown person with all like probably not like, it's probably not for them. What would she need to think about the auction? How does she show up to the auction? She's like, yeah, of course you want this. Like, and it
oh
works.
yeah, yeah, I know I'm going to show up this way and I'm going to work on that.
But what is her thought
Uh,
that you can access right now that you can do for your marketing for this webinar as well and compel 9 people to join in?
well, for me, it's like you have no idea right now, but it is going to change your life. I don't know. This is what's coming up, like, but I don't know.
But I think instead of apathetic, because you know that already, but it's like this is going to change your life and this works for everybody. instead of this for everyone, including the PTA moms. You've already seen it happen. So your brain already has a thread of evidence that it might be helpful for every single mom, every single dad, every person at this gala auction thing needs coaching. And it's your job to show up and be like, I'm the only parent who has had access to this level of awesomeness, minus my former client. Let's fucking go. So, what would your feeling need to be here?
Confident.
What would you do differently if we were
Or
thinking about,
actually,
like,
maybe, um,
I'm just gonna copy and paste it so we can just
well,
do.
I have to revise my copy of whatever I sent.
Yeah,
I have to see also on the website how it's going to look like to make sure it's going to be well presented.
it's like one of the things that I loved, the level of confidence you had. You were like, yeah, I fucking plan events. And I'm like, yeah, it's like they're the best events ever. It'd be so fun. When you said that, I was like, maybe she should plan my next retreat. I'm like, oh my God, that would be so cool. It's like, so it's like just, but like, do you see how it took me from like, oh,
But
I
I'm
knew that you did
thinking
an event.
that I should ask the person who is managing the auction, like they're going to present it. So I want to brief them.
Yep. And brief them instead of doing nothing. I think that'd be helpful. Instead of going along with what you have, you would make a couple changes. Instead of not doing more, what would you do more? Like, what would be like the specifics? Like, what would be like one thing that you could do, not just for the auction, but bigger picture? Like, what kind of things would you do if you believe that like this is for them? And I have to, it's my social responsibility. It's like my responsibility to like bring them in. What do you do to get people to come to your events?
I tell them.
So I want you to imagine that this webinar is going to be the next best event. Okay. So it's like, what would you think about like, what would you do at the event and webinar? What if we made those some synonymous?
What do you mean? I'm sorry.
Like, so it's like, what if we made it feel the same? Like the excitement that you have for an event, the same excitement that you bring to a webinar.
But why are we doing this? Because the webinar is separate.
It's about who you are as a coach.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like, so it's like, yes, of course, but how you want to do one thing is how you do everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, if it's like, I want you to think about like the ways that all of you guys are the same. I want you to feel like it's an awesome event. I also probably connect and listen and be the life coach. I want you to be the fucking life coach for them. How does that feel?
It feels like I need to think about it. No, it feels good. It's just
I think it's a big
I
shift.
need to do it.
I think that like, but like,
I want to work more like we're the same.
yeah,
The same kind of people.
give me 5 ways to do the same really quick.
We moms. We get shit done. We want to look good. We want to feel good. We want to be healthy. We want to help our kids. We want to be the best partner. Yeah.
So notice your brain is always going to evolve. Go to ways you're different. I want you to go to ways you're the same. And I want you to ask you 5 ways that I'm the same as all these people in New York City and why they need me every day. And I want you to be like, what is 5 ways the people I'm interacting with right now need a coach? And it's going to really help you to show up as like this like powerful force that like, of course, 9 people would work with you. How do you feel?
I'll do it. I'm feeling like I have to get off the call and then do it right now.
Yes, do it. I love you. Go and do awesome things. And does anyone have anything to add? Are you open to receiving anything else?
Always. Oh, Nadia is here.
Hi, sorry, I only jumped in. I didn't realize the time's changed. So
Oh
Yeah,
no.
just for a week. It's just for a week
is it just for a week? Because I'm in the
until
UK,
next,
so
because
we're
then
still
you're
normal
changing
time.
time next week or something like this, or maybe a couple weeks.
It's maybe a couple weeks. I think it might be 3 weeks. I'm sorry, lady.
No,
But
that's
we're
fine.
glad to see you.
Yeah, thank you.
Atria looks like she had something to add. Oh, sorry. What did you have something? Oh, whoops.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, I mean, I'm kind of think I'm getting the gist of it. You're going to, you're selling, you're on an auction, yeah? And then I think I was right in like, do you get to pitch it or no?
No.
I don't think so, so that's why. I mean, if there is a possibility, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna think, oh, maybe we should not. So it depends on the person who is in the auction.
Yeah, but even you must be able to give a blurb, you know what I mean? Like with like what it
Oh yeah.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, of course. Well, I have
But
already that, so I want to revise it. I don't even remember what I put on it. I thought it was pretty good when I did it. I had the right energy.
yeah.
So yeah,
And
and I
then
want to
yeah,
revise.
just the thoughts of like that everybody wants it. Like literally every one of those people would benefit because coaching works for any result that they want, right? Any result. So it's just sell yourself more on the fact that every single person in that room would want a new result.
Yeah.
So good. Demetria. Getting the mic situation.
Getting the mic situation done. I was saying our time changed, and I think, is that what threw you off,
Yes.
Nadia? Because you
Yeah,
put
the UK's not changed yet. Like I don't know when they changed, but the UK is still in the old time.
I was like, I'm sorry, we sprung forward faster than my brain wanted to. And
yeah.
I was like, we're ready to rally. But I'm like, seriously though, like 5 reasons every day. And if you can, like, it's like just intentionally directing your brain. And anytime your brain's like, "Ugh, they're so different," be like, what if I always are the same? It's like, okay, it's like, just redirect it, you know?
We're all the same. Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
This is, I really do think like, if you're looking, it's like you were like, I just want some clarity on my marketing. I'm like, we went deep. So thank you for sticking with me. I appreciate it. And I'm really excited for
Yeah,
this
that's been a lot.
auction. I'm excited to hear about it and the webinar. Because if you show up in this energy, it's gonna
I will, I will.
love.
Even though I'm not sharing the energy right now, I know I will.
You will. I was like, it takes time. That's why you're not doing the webinar right now, which is perfect. What about Demetria? Give us a win. And
And I'm gonna
yeah,
just want to say thank you, and I'm gonna stop, but it's just because I have to go back to the full-time job.
I know, but you're
And I
doing
will watch it again.
watch all the
Demetria.
things.
Yeah, Nadia.
We'll see
Bye-bye.
you soon, Harmony. Bye.
So I did have a question. I know it's not lifetime, but will we have a little time to watch these? Because I started watching last week's, but I didn't watch the whole thing.
Absolutely.
It's rodeo season, and that's why I've been like all over and my hair is still wet. I was out of the shower a little bit ago, and I was like, oh my goodness, I was just gonna listen, and then I was like, okay, I'm ready, but not totally ready. But
It was perfect. I was like, yes, you're going to have lifetime access to these.
oh, we do. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I was like, I even for other ones, like I'm not planning on the way that you can do it is if you archive the classroom, and if I do, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Like even the first round is still here.
Yeah, no, I know those are there.
Oh,
Yeah, because there are a couple of things that I want to go back and look at too, like on what you've coached me on, different things.
Yeah.
But like last week, and I think I'll be here next week anyway. Rodeo's going full swing and everything's going really well. That's my win. And I'm getting sleep and
Wow.
staying relatively hydrated. So that's why I was not totally ready this morning because I got home pretty late. Is next week the last week of rodeo or this?
Mm.
Our last
So
week.
we still have until the end of March. So we still have a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And Nadia, I gave I'm adding some stuff. So watch the beginning of this. So I was like, we'll see. Like, but I'm also meeting with you tomorrow for a one-on-one. It's 9 a.m. my time. Actually, I was like, so can you not do that? We might need to change that. Ponder that. Sorry. I was like, fun facts. But I was also thinking about you, Demetria, because I was thinking about one of the things that like you were talking about, like considering like going maybe back to like the full-time job and things like that, or like going back to a something sort of income. And I have not talked to more coaches this year that have actually done that. People who have made well over $200,000 that have done that, which
Mhm.
I like think a lot of times like nobody shares that, but like I can list 5 people who were at this Malibu retreat that I went to. I know
Mhm.
they've all broken the 6-figure mark, and 5 of them have all had to they were like, but I don't think, again, no one's sharing this, but they were like, yeah, oh, I had to, I'm back full-time lawyering, I'm back as like doing all this other stuff. And I was like, oh, I think that it was just a shift of income. I think that a lot of people like they hit that mark in the 2020 year when they were like, everybody was like focusing on mental health and nobody had any money to spend on anything. So it was just kind of like, I think it was a wave that I think a lot of people they didn't know how to generate leads. They didn't
Mhm.
know how to talk to people.
Yeah.
They were just kind of marketing, and their base kind of knew them. And that's like was not the case for me. And I was like, I actually do think it was an asset to the longevity of my business. Like that, like I actually like to get scrappy and actually know how to talk to people, because they were like, yeah, I would never talk to somebody in the DMs. And I'm like, what? Okay, well, I was
Yeah.
like, there are options here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really interesting.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyways, I just thought of you and I was like, nobody's sharing that they are, but I know people that you know who have done this. And I'm like,
Right.
just fun fact.
Yeah. And I mean, listen, I'm gonna do what I have to do, obviously, to support myself
Hell
because
yeah.
unfortunately there are not a lot of sugar daddies out there. And I don't think I'm a sugar daddy kind of girl because I'm maybe a little too mouthy. Um,
I love this.
like I don't want to do that.
I love
Um,
it. Feet- I was talking to somebody about feet pics and I was like, it's such an adventure. What a time we live in the world. So why would you like some coaching on, my dear?
So I'm feeling actually very good. Last week at Lindsay's thing, it was just kind of amazing. And
She's amazing.
I did a lot of journaling, a lot of thinking, some crying, and just like I feel good about like life in general and stepping into me and all that kind of stuff. At 56, I'm like, shouldn't I have gotten this like a long time ago? But like looking
Incredible.
looking inside of me, like for the answers and knowing that they're there. So I feel super good about that. Um, I am giving myself a lot of grace right now because we are like in the middle of rodeo and things are busy. And I was working yesterday doing some things and I just really wanted to be out there. And I was like, oh. And so I was a little bit multitasking, like doing some reposting, some repurposing of post, like somebody said,
Mhm.
and doing some things like that. And I'm just gonna like my post for the rest of I don't know how long are probably just gonna be lives, just so I can chat out there or chat wherever and it's easier, right? Um,
Can you still download lives? You used to be able to a long time ago. I know you can download Facebook lives.
I think so. I think there's a place.
Okay.
I
Because I
think
was
so.
saying that if you like the lives, if you can just chat or video AI it, repurpose that shit, then they become the reels that are a little bit shorter form content. Just
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
so
Yeah.
that was just a thought. I was like, so within this and repurpose for and like if they don't, I would do Facebook lives over Instagram lives then.
You can download those.
Mhm. Well, at least in my Facebook group, I was like, I'm pretty sure. I was like, yeah,
Oh,
I'll show you what it looks like. You literally like just go in, do, um, and like this one,
mhm.
if you click here or here, if you click into the post, it's like
Today I went to talk to
this. If you click on the actual video, top left, download video,
oh,
goes up here. And that's what I've been doing for all my video AIs. And it's actually what I'm going to do for my podcast. When I
wait,
don't,
what have you been, you've been, I
So-
guess I could put it in Descript because I don't have this.
yeah, this is also free for 75 minutes. So if you've got short podcasts coming up, you can totally work with it. And one of the things that I realized is it wasn't really capturing the things that I was like, this is a good one. And I wanted more things. And so
Mhm.
if you click on custom clip, create from timestamp or not timestamps, create from transcript, you can be like, oh, it's like, I've already made 70K and it's the first, not even the first 3 months of 2024. I'm like, 70K in 8 weeks. This is all free. Like I did decide to pay for it because I was doing so much of it for clients. And you click here. I've made $204,000 in. So it's like, and then it does that for you, and then you do the editing. You just go like
Oh,
beep beep beep, move that up.
yeah.
But that could be a reel for you and things like that. So it's like I just know that you're already doing the podcast and you're already doing. It's like if we could just take the podcast, create some
Right.
and lives. I'm like done.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I will be doing that. Oh, I know. So I know we talked about like me doing VA stuff and everybody was like, concentrate on your business, which I am, but an opportunity came up that may work out. So I don't have to concentrate on promoting it.
Yes.
If it works out, it would just be like doing the task and things like that. So I may be doing that. We'll see how that all works out. But I feel really good. And right now it's just like figuring out how to get post up and keep the momentum going. As far as like posting and content and things like that. And I will do that. So I will tell you that I had somebody come back from 2021. It was a consult from 2021. And we talked, but she was a no for price right now, but she's going to save up and come back for it. So that's good news, but it was just all of a sudden I got an email and I had to go look her up and I'm like, oh, wow. I'm like, well, that's cool.
What made her do this?
She is in a new job and she wanted support around that new role.
Okay. This is your next post. New job question mark. I can get you ready for that next role in 3 months or less. Sign up for a consult.
Oh, okay.
It's like, because I think that like one of the things that like, it's like, what is their problem at 2 p.m.? You know what I mean? It's like and when you talk to everybody, sometimes it feel like it's like if you can be like, this is something that I do in the Curate Live program, they're gonna be like, oh shit, I know somebody who's got a new job. I know somebody. It's like, did she hear? And also, was it email? Was it Instagram? Like, do you know?
What? How
She
she
came
contact-
in. Yeah, yeah.
Originally, I think she's a friend of a friend. And so we had a consult
Okay.
in 2021. And I guess she was starting a podcast, but I don't even know if she did.
Mm,
That's what the consult was about.
okay.
And now she's stepping into a new role with a new company. So I think that would be the thing, like stepping into a new role. Do you have some doubt?
And I would make it like that's like it's like so for the head, it's like for the hook, having something that's broad, where it's like starting something new. This is something that can help you shift. It's like I within like the beginning as a general coach, this is something that I would do is I would be like, okay, it's like I then bring it into the 2 p.m. It's like, for instance, one of my clients was starting a job this week and she was feeling like there's this new role, there's so many new responsibilities, there's so much there's so much change that's happening, and you might not it's like, and if you're feeling like you can't keep up, the majority of people just give it a shot, and it can be a messy transition. I want to help you transit. This is not I was like, Nadia, you're not loving my wording. I was like, your face said no. Oh, it's a 2 p.m. problem. I was like, I was like, I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job spitballing, and your face was like, yeah. And I was like, no, ma'am. I was like, I'm crushing this. No, but I thought it was okay. What is the 2 p.m.?
Not at all. I was just confused.
I was like, the 2 p.m. problem is like, if you can get that integral. I was talking about it with Harmony. It's like she's like talking about like these big topic things, right? Time management. Great. Everybody wants probably better time management. I can't think of somebody who's like, maybe a couple that are like nailed it, but it's like, who wouldn't want to improve it, right? So instead of being like, I can help you manage all of your time, for instance, work out more. I want to help you to become the fittest you've ever been by working with me. This is something I want you to consider, blah, blah, blah. Instead of just talking about stress in general, it's like the reason you're like, it's good to go broad, but then we want to bring it back to an example. So if you start the headline broad, bring it into an example, their brains can make a connection to the rest, right? They can be like, okay, it's like, it's like ready to manage your time. Managing your time makes you work out more. They're like, and probably something else. And maybe my closet could get better. And maybe this could be like, you know what I mean? And so it's like, if you can bring it down to a problem they're having at 2 p.m., it's like, and that's what I meant by the new job. It's like, you got a new job, like that's a big overarching thing. And then you bring it, it's like that first meeting is coming up, and I want you to come in strong. It's like, I don't want you to feel like, it's like most in where I was at, like in my tangential thing, feel free to watch it back, Demetria. But it was like, I was saying that like, you're going to the new meeting, and most people would go in without support. And most people would miss out on bonuses, promotions, and opportunities because they don't go in with the confidence I give you. That's what I want you to create. The confidence that can like lead a room that gets you the results you want. That's what coaching does. Work with me and I'll show you how. Do you see that like it takes it from being like, it's like now she knows that anybody who has a new job, they want support. That's why they work with you, right? Within a podcast. It's like, but their brain can make the connection, even if they don't want to start a podcast, they can make the personal connection to you. It's like, if you're starting something new, been there, done that, and here's 3 things that you might be missing. For it's like, you know what I mean? It's like for instance, I started a podcast. It created this. I had to do this, and this in order to create the podcast. I had to think of a bigger vision. I need to do this and that. This works from everything from podcasting like me to moving. If these are things that you're going through, you're not alone. Most people don't get it. It's like, this is something I want to offer to you.
Right.
It's like, if you want to do this with ease, this is the next level.
Right.
Like really stepping up your like, it's like, and again, copywriting isn't always a skill from like one to many. It's like, it's more so like you're talking to people. I just want you to feel this, and you're going to build up the copywriting skills as you go.
Me gonna build up the copywriting skills?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. So the 2 p.m. problem is a problem they're having at 2 p.m. that they can recognize that it's an issue, and they're like, I will pay to solve this. And it'll usually be a feeling. Now, did I talk to you guys about the 4 types of buyers? If not, it's been my favorite thing, and I'm probably going to do a whole workshop about it. Cool. Looks like I haven't. So within this is something that my coach gave me, and I love it. And it was like, essentially, when we're thinking about like the way that you're marketing and the way that you're selling and the way that you're just existing, the whole purpose of creating it's like, we are learning, buying just means that they're thinking enough to compel them to take action, right? It's like, if we just look at the model, it's like, a person buys and takes action because they've had a better thought and they've created a better feeling. But what makes people think different thoughts? Usually we know the way that we buy. So we sell the way that we buy. For instance, I am a doer. If I see somebody, I like them and I will buy. Probably. Like I was like, I will put $15,000 for somebody to teach me how to get the systems to get from 6 to 7 figures. Like, yeah, for fucking sure. I'm like, if you can tell me how to make my spreadsheets and teach me how to hire the people, I'm like, yeah, I will pay you all the money. So I think a lot of the times my copy used to be straight to like okay, you want results, let's do shit. Like, it's like when it's more so like just get into action. It's like, you haven't made what you want, I will help you. It's like, do you want to save more time in your business and do you want to make more money? These are the two things I help you with. Let's go. What I didn't realize, and most people don't realize, is that most people aren't like me. The majority of people are like the amicable buyers. So these are just the 4 different types of buyers: the expressive, the doer, and the amicable, and the analytical, that you want to be selling to in your marketing. The reason why I thought of this was because when I think that you might be a doer like me, you might be like, okay, I see it, I want it, I like it, I'm going to buy it. Within this, we need to shift marketing to these different types of buyers. So if you can give them the big picture, I want to show you what it looks like to show up to work on the first day of a new job and run that room, to be the brightest, biggest, best energy you've ever been starting something new. That's what I do as your life coach. This is what we do. Results focused, the promotion, these are things that the doer needs to hear. I need to hear, like, when I work with you, I will make more money, save more time, feel better. And be very clear about the better. It's like confident, clear, focused, determined, dedicated, like the things I want, successful. It's like, that would be the number one word I always used to look for, is like, it's like, you want to be successful, you should probably work with a coach. It's like, because this blah, blah, blah. It's like, I didn't think it was true. I started working with the coach and it was true for me and it's true for you. The amicable buyer are the people who just need to think about it, and they just need to hear that you're the right person because you've been through it yourself. They want to see you as an aspiration. They want to aspire to be like you, and they want to be thinking, oh my gosh, like, wow, Demetria, she is living her swanky life. I want to live like Demetria. And they also need to have that confidence that they can do it. They want to feel like, it's like, I have done, and what builds confidence for them doing it is testimonials. If they can see more other, like, if they're like, okay, it didn't just work for Demetria, but it worked for me too, for Sarah and Jennifer and blah, 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 then I'm more willing to buy. And the last piece is like data driven. I lean towards this sometimes too. And like, that's why I brought up, I was like, what percentage of coaches make over 100K? 0.02. I was like, that is too low. We're going to change this shit. But it's like, when we're thinking about like the average income, that like, if I like, that's totally going to be a post I do. I mean, like, 2% of coaches make 6 figures. If you want to be in the room with people who want to get there, this is the mastermind for you. You know what I mean? Like, so when I'm saying this, I'm like giving you a lot of thoughts just because I've had a lot of thoughts. I'm like, but what is it? You still would like to sign a new client this week, right? Or this month,
Absolutely. Yeah.
right? Let's like bring these humans in. What?
Yeah. And so one of the things is, like, again, I'm out there most of the time, but I've been talking to people about, life coaching, and there's somebody in a networking group that I'm probably going to join in April when I get back. So it's a bigger networking group citywide. So because I do like networking in person. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to look into that. And it sounds like a pretty good group, active, that does things that, where I can make connections. Yeah. So I had a little question blip on my price when she said no, but I
Okay.
think it's okay. Like it's 2,300 for 3 months, the quarter, whatever. And I think that's reasonable.
Why?
Because it's one-on-one coaching that will help you transform something in your life in that 3 months.
Okay. So
So
I would love when I'm doing my self-coaching, I'm going to give you a similar homework to Harmony. Not homework. You don't need to do this homework. I know you've got enough stuff going on with the rodeo, but I would love for you to have like a post-it note, something somewhere to be like, what are 5 reasons why my coaching is worth 2,300 for 3 months?
okay.
And as much as you can, I want you to think about why this is a great, easy investment for 3 months. And I like to think about 5 reasons. Like when I was shifting to 12K for my one-on-one price, I was like, I thought about all the reasons, and I'm like, the time that they're spending is wasting them 12K. They're missing out on 12K of opportunities. If I'm looking at like the confidence that they're gonna have, the ability that they have to market, not fearing shit when they go on a sales call, that they know exactly how to guide a person through. And we come from a world of Stacey Bayman where we actually know somewhat how to sell somebody on something. I have experienced recently the alternative. And I'm like, oh my God, like nobody actually knows how to sell stuff. Like some really bad consult calls with like some VAs actually. And I was like, what is happening? Like we were like talking about like middle school, and like I was like like her experience in middle school as like a 30-year-old, and I was like, what is happening right now? What is going on? It's like, so it's like really, I think that like that's worth its weight in gold. So for you, why 2,300? Why is that like a fucking no-brainer?
I need to when so see, I need to think about it because then I was like, okay, 1,800, which was, I mean,
It's money. I was like, so
money.
it's like, okay, so regardless, why is your coaching worth spending thousands of dollars to work with you? How is it going to be the best use of that 2,300 for them?
It's customized to whatever they want to work with.
Okay. Okay. Give me more.
Like we will dive into their problem one-on-one.
Sorry, may I say give me more? I'm going to do the same thing I did with Harmony. It's like 2 p.m. problem.
Okay. Um,
What is a problem they've wanted to work with that's cost them 2,300?
sitting on the couch wishing for something different.
What is this something different?
More excitement.
In
Something.
what way?
Um,
Like, do they want to try? Like, you said the reason why Harmony was compelled into action and
oh yeah,
shared this on her story is because you painted the vision to the 2 p.m. problem.
yeah.
Travel,
Probably all of those. Yeah.
right? It's like if we can start to talk about each one of these things, like it's gonna be clear. So it's like the them not traveling is, or it's like for literally if we go like income, it's like not getting a new job is costing you thousands and is wasting it's say in like your way, you know, it's like in a nicer way probably, but like, but you're wasting your time on this planet, wasting your amazing contribution,
Yes.
the amazing contribution you want to create. Okay,
Yes.
so what about the give me something else that they're like, you said here, I'm literally just gonna copy this post and be like, so we got new career covered, but like, why is this costing them $2,000, $2,300?
Well, because they're not living fully, like they just don't, they're not.
It's like
They're
you'll, Mhm, go ahead.
existing and not living.
I saw a reel yesterday. And I was thinking, but you see how like it's like you do such a great job of like the like big picture. I want to bring you into the 2 p.m.
Right.
I want to be like, okay, what is the living fully? How is that showing up at a problem? They're like, I actively have to pay money to solve this right now. It's like this is a really big struggle for me. It's like I got a reel and it was like and it was just like it just made sense to me, but I was like, I'll try and find it and send it to you because I think I sent it to Rob. But it was like with your business and or it's like with travel, it was like you never remember how much that plane ticket cost, but you'll always remember the experience you had.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Plane ticket.
Okay, so like maybe in that one and the more fun or whatever, it would be not having the regret of the what if or that I should have.
Okay, for in what?
And kind of in all of it, like, like looking back at time wasted, at chances you should have taken.
Okay, like and again, if you can, it's like you are so good at this, like the bigger picture. But I think it's like if we can get you down to an even like big like an it's like be like you never want to look back on life with regret. It's like I knew that I always wanted to make my own workbook. I am now a self-published author. That is something I knew I wanted to do. And I had on the back of my mind. And if I'd never started coaching, I never would have published my own book. It's fucking awesome. It's changed people's lives. I was talking with my Grammy about it on Sunday. Like, so I'm like serious. Like it's a good, it's good and it's important and people need this and things like that. So it's like that's what like it's like if you like this 2,300, you can't take it with you when you go, but you
Right.
can well, go, but like the memories. It's like if we can bring this out, it's like what is something that they would do with more fun?
Um,
What's something they've been dreaming about doing?
Pickleball comes to mind because everybody's playing pickleball.
Okay, I was like, so it's like
Or just getting out and meeting more people, right? Expanding their circle.
it's like out and meeting more people. It's like it's third do yours instead of a Tuesday at 2 p.m. Yours is gonna be like a Thursday at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. You see the stories of your friends out there living. This it's like
Mhm.
they feel left out. They feel sad, right?
Yes.
It's like you it's like I want it's like now is the time to start opting in. And do they feel scared to opt in? Like why aren't they opting in? It's like if you're feeling scared or nervous, it won't compare to the regret you'll feel later. It's like I finally feel like I'm living, and it's like 56 years on the planet. The way you started that, it was so good. It's like, and I want you to feel like I feel now. Coaching has pushed me further than I've ever dreamed possible. I've met more amazing, inspiring people than I ever imagined, done amazing shit, like write and self-publish a book and quit my full-time job to do what I love. It's like, I know this is possible for you too. Worked for everyone I've coached, and it will work for you too. Do you see how it's like painting the vision for them? Like there, I guarantee there are people who you haven't spelled it out for them, but you're like, dude, I've like left my job. I have like wrote a full-time book. Now, if you come back to another source of income, that's totally fine. But you know what I mean? It's like most people live their whole lives. My dad has imagined quitting his job for 20, oh my God. He's 63. So he's imagined that since he was 20, probably in 23. It's 40 years. 40 years he's imagined the day that he's going to quit his job.
Right.
He also is scared because he doesn't know what to do. So you can paint them a vision of like I just went on this amazing retreat with Lindsay and things like that. Like that's a level I want you to like see this.
Okay.
What is coming up?
That's good. And I do need to like go into those, like you said, and get down to more specific things to talk to them, to spur them into action. And I also have to go in a few minutes because but this is
What do you
good.
think about like what would you need to, what are you thinking now? Like about like it's like I know that like I don't, I want to create a shift for you with as little time as possible. And so I'm like, what can for me, it was just thinking in this way is going to help you show up to your podcast more powerfully. It's going to the lives more powerfully. It's like just doing the like the marketing you have planned. What would you need to be thinking to be like just not just, but like the lives and podcast is enough to sign a client this month? What would you need to think to really get you into this energy?
They need to hear what I have to say. They want to hear what I have to say.
Take it to the next level. They take action.
Say it again.
Next level action. It's like, so they need to hear it and they want to take action to work with me.
Yes.
With me. How does that feel?
I like it.
What emotion? Maybe?
I didn't say good. Oh.
I like it. It's
Oh,
a
she
good
doesn't
one.
like it when I say good.
Well, you've got 766 followers, right? Now, many of them are, I was like, I know that like, look at how many connections we have. But it's like, I want you to think about like all the people that you're meeting at the rodeo, all the people who have never been touched by a coach before.
Mm.
You know, how do you want to feel as you're talking with them about like all these amazing shifts you've made?
I want to feel excited because then I think that will translate to them feeling to me. It's like some excitement.
So what would you need to do with the rodeo?
Well, I think I'd probably need to think about, like, really think about the things that I've accomplished. Like I don't think about the planner. Like I do because I use it and I love it, but I forget that and not forget, but I don't celebrate enough that I made that, even though I love it a lot. And I really but I don't think about, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I maybe a little bit take it for granted. I'm like, oh yeah, that's done. And actually I was thinking about changing something a little bit, but even if I don't ever, it's fine. But I have a piece that I can add to make it, I think, even better a little bit. So I need to think about what I've accomplished, what I've done, and let that come through in my excitement.
Yes. And like when you're talking with people and be like, what are the things on the docket for you? It's like, I'm going to be doing this and I'm doing this and I'm going to this. It's like, what kind of things? It's like, they're like, I don't have anything on the docket. you know,
Right.
on the horizon for you. Here are the things I want to accomplish in 2024. It's like I want to travel. It's like I want to it's like here's a new hobby I'm thinking about, like hobby. Here's something fun I'm doing. It's like, what are you doing for fun? What are some things that you're doing for fun? It's like, here are 5 things I'm doing for fun. That's gonna help you to build that aspirational, like, oh my God, why don't I have anything I'm doing for fun? It's like Demetria can help me have more fun. Didn't make that connection until she said that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? What I'm working with a copywriting coach right now, and like she said that the biggest issue and the thing that I'm working on is creating connectors. She's like, systems are gonna help them, but like, why you? Why over somebody else? They can work with 100 business coaches. Why are you the best business coach for them? I was like,
Mhm.
oh. It just like get me like thinking about things in a really different way. And I also want you to think about like every day, 5 ways it's worth um this price. It's
Okay.
like 5. Do you want to change your price, or are you feeling like you're gonna keep it?
I'm feeling like I'm going to keep it because I've done work around it. Maybe I need to go back and look at the work that I've done around it before.
Because like I told you, I was like, I think I told you guys the other day, I was like, maybe 12K is too much. I'm like, Jesus, Megan. I was like, what? It's like, what is happening? So it's
Right.
like your brain will always default to negative.
Right. True. Yeah.
Can I just add?
Yes, of course.
Like the way you were speaking about it, right? When you first said like it's like 2,600, I can't remember the exact price for 3 months, right? Is like you're thinking that they're paying for the coaching,
Right.
right? So you're paying, why is 2,600 worth 3 months of coaching? But what you need to be thinking about is they're not paying for your time, they're not paying for the act of coaching, they don't understand what that does, is that what is the result that will get them? So that woman who came to you for support, she'd started a new job and she wanted to be more confident or something. So like, what could you help her accomplish in that time? Do you know what I mean? Like more so like take yourself out of it. It's not you. It's like they're going to pay for what the result is that
Right.
you create for them. Does that make sense?
Yes, you're right. That's true. And I know that. I need to remember that.
Yeah. It's
Right.
never. I see when I hear coaches all the time being like, and I'm like, and I hear them and they're like, my offer is like 6K for 3 months. That's not the offer. Like that is not the offer. The offer is what will be the result, what will be the change in their life at the end of the 6 months. That's what they're paying for. Like I would pay 6K or 3K or whatever it is for the result. I wouldn't pay it for coaching. Coaching isn't anything to them.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
So sorry, I just wanted to offer you that. Like when you're thinking about it, it's not you, it's not your coaching they're paying for. It's not what they need to see worth in. It's like it's what that result, that coaching will give them.
That's true. I love that.
And
Thank
like,
you so much.
oh yes, of course. And like the other thing is like for the data people, look up data, look up facts and statistics. Like the 90-day rule is like it takes you 90 days to see the result of the work that you put in. So it's like if you can be like, it's like the reason it's like if you haven't created the results you want, you haven't been following the 90-day rule.
Right.
It's like yeah. So it's like just having like, but it's like that's why I created this program. It's 3 months. You're gonna have a curated life. It starts the snowball and it follows the 90-day rule.
Yes.
I love you. Very excited. I know you got
I love
rolled.
you guys too. Sorry that I have to run.
You are totally fine. And I
Thank
cannot
you
wait
so
to see
much.
you next week. Good luck with rodeo. I hope they'll see you and we'll see you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Nadia, start us with a win. And I can go
Well,
if you
when do you have time, by the way? I feel like it's coming
I
to the
did
end because I'm an hour behind.
100%. I was like, I am looking and I've got you.
Okay, gosh.
Actually, can I ask a favor? could I run to the
Yeah.
bathroom very quickly?
Of course.
I was like, take a quick bathroom break.
Okay.
Think about your win.
I'm thinking
and
about
I'll be
when. Got
very
it.
quick. Okay. All right.
Okay,
Be right back.
cool.
And we're back.
Okay.
Okay. What's your win?
Okay, so my win is I recorded the webinar from last month.
I'm so proud. I'm like, yes. It's like, seriously, there's going to be somebody who watches this years from now and they're going to be like, this is my favorite.
But do you know I actually did it in the last hour?
I'm so proud.
Literally, I was like, oh
Oh
my
my
God,
God,
I've
we
still
didn't take
not
a
done that.
picture. Shit.
What?
I forgot to take a picture of the group, but that's okay.
Okay.
All good. I was like, well, yeah.
But yeah, that's so funny because it literally was the last hour. Like I did it between 2 and 3.
What was the thought that made you compelled enough to do this, to take action?
Oh, just because I was like, I can't get on this call without doing it.
Okay. We're and if we know it's a motivator and a driver, then if we're like, okay, this is something I could see a value, making sure you've got somebody to like hold you. It's like that's literally like why I have Jackie. I was like,
Yeah, that's why I do stuff. If someone's going to be like, Nadia, have you done this?
hmm.
Not all the time, but a lot of the time I like to have that.
I think that like it's like if we know this about ourselves, I was actually telling one of my one-on-one clients, I'm like, if we know that deadlines are drivers for our motivation, and we're like, in the future, I would love to not motivate myself with deadlines. I would like to motivate myself intrinsically, and that would be so nice. You're already doing something new. Don't give yourself two new things to learn. Like it's like we're already learning new shit. Don't try and like
Yeah.
change your motivators and things like that now. Just go with what works and it's gonna keep getting better. I'm so proud of you.
Okay.
Okay, so this is awesome. What would you like some coaching on?
Okay, so right, so I'm not saying this from like a negative place, but I'm like, something's not working.
Mhm.
Like, right?
Okay.
I'm not signing clients. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, I was thinking about it last night, and Andy, I was speaking to Andy about it, and he's like, you like when he like sees my posts and that, he's like, you as a human are not showing up. He never said as a human, but like are not showing up on your page, your posts. Like he's like, when I speak to you, you're so knowledgeable, you're so um uh passionate. Like I've changed his life in so many ways. So he totally buys into coaching. Like he's like my number one fan in regards to coaching, but he's like he doesn't get it why it's not working. I'm like, I don't know why it's not. But so he's all in behind me to keep doing it, if you know what I mean, because he knows how like amazing it is. And I genuinely believe that I'm a really good coach, right? I'm like, I know I've got so much knowledge, I know how to help people, but there's something that's like blocking me. And I'm like, so that's going to be almost another 6 months. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, how long? Something needs to change. And I'm like, what do I do? Do you know what I mean? Because I'm just going through the same cycles all the time.
Okay. Do I do? When we're thinking about like, what do I do? When we're like, oh my God, it's like, first off, we're just gonna quick eval it. It's like, what kind of things have you done that worked?
Well, I did a webinar and that worked. I got a client from it.
Okay. And we didn't do the last webinar.
No, we didn't. No.
So, okay, just food for thought. That might
Clues.
be,
Yeah.
it's like, it's like, what do I do it's like I think our brain immediately goes to new because we're like, oh, it's like what I've done hasn't worked versus consistency.
Yeah.
You know,
And
it's like
that's my problem. My problem is getting myself to do all this stuff. Like again,
without
yesterday
seeing the result. Yeah.
had so much planned and I didn't do any of it.
Right.
Like
And
this is the same thing that I keep coming back to. I'm not following through.
right. And so it's like, but you have, it's like there are some things. I hope you cannot hear Rob. He is like screaming on this
No.
video game. I'm like, what the flying is happening? But anyways, so when it's like, okay, there are some places that you're not following through, but there are things that you are following through with, right? What are those things?
I mean, most of the time I post content.
I do. I think you're consistent with posting content.
Yeah.
What
And that's about it.
it's like, so okay, what we have to do is thought swap, okay? So it's like, what is your thought that makes you post content? Doesn't matter if it's like good.
It's just that this is what you do. Like I don't know, just it depends on the way I'm thinking about it, but I'm like, I just like I don't know, like I know this is what you're supposed to do, or I don't know, this is part of it.
Okay. What is
Like I
something?
just feel like I'm like, yeah, like it's more like I remember when I first started out, like posting content was a giant thing and I never did it and it would take me ages, da, da, da.
Mhm.
But like now I'm like, I'll post it a lot easier.
Yeah, because how does it feel? It just feels like,
Well, I mean, sometimes like yesterday I went sat down and I was just a big mess about it all and I didn't post anything. But like most of the time,
it just feels like
I
right? Like
I'm
it's like,
okay.
yeah, like this is what you do. Done.
Mhm.
What are the things that you have a goal to do that you're not following through on?
Like probably everything I like doing networking and conversation. Like, do you know what it is, right? I'm like, and I was saying this to Andy, I'm like, I think I'm blocking myself because I feel I don't know the word is like disingenuine because I'm trying to sell something that I'm not mastering myself. Not even mastering, I'm just not doing. So it feels fake. And that's probably why I'm not really showing up to sell it because I'm like, it doesn't feel like honest. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is what's blocking me with it because I'm like, I don't, it's like ages and years ago, I was like, I joined the network marketing thing and I couldn't sell it, even though I could sell loads of other things because I was a salesperson. But I mean, I just couldn't get behind it because it
I
didn't
know.
feel, and this is a similar thing. I'm like, I'm not showing up because in my heart, I'm like, this is fake. This isn't, I just don't feel comfortable doing it.
Okay. But we also have this thought that you want to change the world and bring more coaches into the world, right?
Yeah.
There were 3 things that you needed to do in order to do that yourself. When you were starting a general coaching practice, right? What were what were things that you had to do?
I had to talk to people and tell them about what I do.
Uh-huh. You had to decide to become a coach.
Yeah.
So I think what's happening is I think that your marketing might be to current you, which of course, because we're always working on like the next
Yeah.
self. What if we can market past you?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's like I feel like I'm trying to market as if like to be fully booked and to be like all that. And I'm like, but I'm not that like, do you know what I mean? I know I have other and I always try and lean on like, but I have other businesses and
Right,
I
right. And
like
I'm nobody on this call at all is judging you, but I
yeah.
think that like what was the past you struggling with? What did she really need help with? She didn't want to be fully booked. She just needed to get that first client.
Yeah, so then that's what I'm like, do I need to change my marketing to
I
like
I don't think you're marketing. I just think you're ICA because like I think that like and I see, I mean, your ideal client avatar.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that like it's like if you haven't signed a client this month, your process, it's like thinking about them, it sounds like they might be fully booked coach, right? It's like that's their end, that's what you're also working towards.
Yeah, but that's the end goal. So like when I'm thinking
Right.
about marketing, I'm trying to think of like, because I don't know if I would sign up. This is my thing. Like, would I sign up to a coach that's like, I'm going to teach you how to sign your first client versus someone that's like, I'm going to teach you how to make a 6-figure business. Do you know what I mean?
Look at fucking Stacey Bayman. She was like, oh, 2K? Hate. They want to make 200K. Why would I ever
Yeah.
sign something called 2K?
Yeah, that's
I want you
fair.
to think about the people that are at their 2K. I feel like I went too far. I think I was like looking upon this, I'm like, oh, I know we got aspirations, but they need to figure out how to make their first 5-figure foundation. Like they don't even know how to, like, oh, okay, got it. So if we're thinking about them and we're marketing to past you, I can attest, I signed up to work with a coach at the beginning of my business because I knew nothing. And if you
What do
think
you
about
mean?
it, I was like, I have no idea how to fucking market. I do not need to, you're like posting more content and things like that. It's like maybe they like just need to post. Maybe they
Yeah.
need to sign one client.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think I'm confusing my marketing because I'm like trying to market to someone. I don't know. I don't even know. I'm just
okay, so
feeling.
let's come up with a person, okay? It's like you just got certified, or decided to become a coach. To become a coach, this is what you do next. I'm like trying to come up with like really like intriguing ways to like because like I've got a really decent amount of followers, but I'm like, I wonder like how I could bring more humans in. And my coach Jackie, I hope I saved this. Or it's like it was something like she did another really good one. And it was like, if you thought
Is that
certified,
your
yeah,
coach,
this is
Jackie?
my coach Jackie. I'm sorry if
Okay.
the teacher training was all you needed to build a career.
I'm sorry if you were taught that yoga teacher. Okay. But she's a yoga coach.
She is, but she was very long story. She was my
Okay.
yeah, I was like she was my 200-hour instructor for when I got certified for yoga. She's how I found coaching at all. And so
Okay.
my general coach for 2 years, and then I decided to start a coaching business. So it's like
Okay. Yeah, I think I need to like be pitching towards brand new people.
yes, I do. I think that like because then you're gonna be so like if somebody just got certified, right?
Hmm.
Like I have no clue how to sign clients. What would you tell them?
Well, again, I would help them make the decisions on their niche, their ideal client, and get super clear and specific on that. Because like that's what drives everything. Because everyone you speak to, like even when I hear other people talk, I'm like, and the way I teach, I'm like, it's so vague. I'm like, we need to get more specific.
Oh my gosh, it's like
So
almost like directions like a pillar. Like
yeah, that's like what I've got though.
I know, but it's just a different flavor. It's like you're not telling them how to market consistently, you're telling them to get that first post out. The first
Yeah.
post is the hardest post, always. I can teach you, I post all the time. I'm consistent with posting. I figured it out. I can make it easy for you too.
Yeah.
Would they pay? How much is your program again? 3K?
3K.
Yeah, I'm like, would they pay 3K for ease for somebody to make that first post easier? I
But
thought
not to make, no, I wouldn't pay 3K for someone to make a post easier. You would pay 3K to sign. Do you know what I mean?
so that's the last part, right? But it's like for me, it took me 2 months. Maybe because you came from like the background of, let me just give you like a perspective of somebody who came into this world with no sales background, no marketing background. I literally was like, I can't get this business off the ground if I can't fucking tell people. I knew I had awareness that this was my problem. It still took me 2 months. 2 months. I
To
coached
what?
people to post the first time
Why?
because I was scared of people judging me.
Right. Yeah. No, I get that. Okay. That's going right back to the beginning, isn't it? Like,
I want you to go to the beginning because you got the beginning. If we're selling something that you don't, it's like, of course, this is why this isn't working. And guess what? We just figured out it's like something isn't working. Of course, your ICA.
mhm.
Now we know it's not working. There
Yeah.
were so, and I don't know if are you life coach school?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like life coach school, ICF, all these other coaching like organizations. There are it's like if we can get them, it's like you just got certified, now what? And position yourself as like, it's like if you're trying to get your first couple posts out there, here's something I did that could help me. Here's something that I did. If you want to post in the posse, I don't know if you're in the posse.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like, but like being like, it's like, hey, it's like I was just talking with a client. This is an idea I had. Like, it's like, what are 3 places where your people aren't showing up yet? Like, it's like, do you feel like you just okay? Now they want to
Wait a
sign.
minute, wait a minute. Say that again. Are you telling me to post in the posse? Say that again. I don't
Yeah,
understand
why
what you're
not?
saying.
It's like there's a group of people who are certified.
Yeah. So, and do what and say what though? What do you mean?
Being like, okay, let's say it's like, hey, I was just working with a client and this is something I think could help other people too. It's like, this is just an idea that I had. And it was like for their first post, right? Let's say you're coaching me. It's my first post.
Mhm.
What would you help me to do to get out of people judging me? It's like I know so many people in this group are more like are further along in their business, but like I know there are also a lot of people who've been hanging out and like just need to get that first post out. Like this is something I can help you.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, I need to go back more to like the problems of like a brand new coach.
What are their problems? They need to sign their first client. They need to decide to become a coach. They need to niche.
Well, yeah, the obstacle is niche confusion for sure. Confidence in their coaching ability. But then I'm not going to teach them how to be a better coach. So I'm like, but that's just a problem that they have, if you know what I mean. But I'm not actually going to teach them how to become a better coach, I don't think.
Could you just coach them on their thoughts, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So cool. So their confidence as a coach, they're worrying about what their family and friends will think about them. Like if you go back to my posts from like the first year in that, it was at the stage where everyone was like pointing at stuff and I wasn't dancing, but I was like doing like lip syncing and that, like
Which we love. It's like we're here for. It's like
but yeah, but it took me ages to get over myself to tell people I was a coach. It took me ages. Like
how
I told you
long?
before, I literally, when I first started like coaching, I created a separate Instagram account and blocked everyone I knew so that I could like post without anyone finding me.
I was like, I don't want you to do this.
Yeah.
I want you to share this as your personal, if you feel comfortable.
Yeah. Oh
It's
yeah,
like
fine.
you're
Don't bother
doing
me
this.
now.
They are doing this. One of my clients, I shit you not, she deleted all of her Facebook friends. We went through 2,000 people and deleted every single one of them. I was like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I can help you start from scratch, but Jesus fuck. I'm like, wouldn't it be easier to just coach on your thoughts? And she changed the C to avoid the F.
Yeah, I did in the beginning and then I got over myself and then I went from one extreme of that. Once I got coached on it and sorted myself out, I posted every day on my personal Facebook. To the point
It's
people
like,
were like, Nadia, we're sick of the site yet. And I didn't care. I was like, unfollow if you don't want to hear it.
and it's going to take you less time to make the impact and money you want.
What are you saying that there for? Sorry, say that again.
It's like instead of changing the circumstances
Yeah.
and trying to change the people, it's like I could just help you feel better faster so you can get the results you want.
So like if I'm changing then, no, I love that. Sorry, I'm just, my head's going
Yeah,
ahead.
I know. Like I think this is a very good realization. I'm like,
Yeah. So if I
you were
change it to
talking
be like, instead of being like Coaching Business Accelerator, which could be anyone within, I need to get more niche and speaking to like there's someone who's not signed a client yet. Do you think that's too But I don't want people that I'm going to like drag along. Do you know what I mean? It's
We
like,
call it the accelerator, right? It's like
sorry?
it's like the coaching business accelerator is like I'm going to take you to accelerate to your first client. Like you're not going to waste any time because they still want the accelerator. They still don't want to. Your person doesn't want to be dragged. I agree.
No, I want to
You're
have
like
someone
it.
that's like me, who was like, right, I'm ready to go. I want to make this work. But do you think I should change the name of it to like, instead of coaching business accelerator, like make your first 10K as a coach or something like that? So it's a smaller figure. So I'm not saying like I'm going to teach you how to make your 100K, but it's like getting into the point of like, this is for new people.
But I would say that like, okay, even if you want to call it like coaching business accelerator, ignite your coaching business, but like if the tagline is make your first, then people will opt in and out accordingly.
Yeah, but is that bad, do you think?
What piece?
To say like make your first 10K?
Okay, what are your thoughts?
Well, okay, what I've noticed is coming in is then I'm going to exclude loads of people that have maybe made 10K.
Okay, so it's like make your first 10K. Where'd it go?
You put it down the bottom for some
I
reason.
don't have, oh, make it, there we go. Thank you. I was like, and consistent 10K to scale. That's what I say. I'm like, I might teach you how to make your first 6 figures and 6+ figures after that. Alicia has made 6 figures.
Yeah,
She opted in.
yeah. But I don't understand that. Sorry, make your first 10K as a coach and consistent 10K to
To scale.
scale. Okay. So meaning just not just in general 10K. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get clear on what you're saying. Like,
It's like
make your
your
first 10K as a coach and create consistent 10K. Because
think
I don't
about
want to say
2K.
10K months, because again, that's jumping too
That's why I say
much.
consistent take 10K to scale. You know, it's like, or maybe you say consistency to scale.
Mhm.
Okay. But like,
Yeah.
but like Stacey, her whole thing is like make your first 2K and every 2K
Mhm.
after that. Once you know
Yeah,
how to
that's
make
kind
your
of what I
first,
want to do. I don't want to do, obviously I can't do 2K because we're gonna be like, oh yeah, make your first 2K.
yeah.
But I do think
Maybe say it's like,
pitching it more to a brand new beginner is going to help me and my mindset of not feeling like a phony, because I don't like to feel like I'm a phony, but I'm like, I
no,
don't know
that's
how
why you
else
haven't been
to.
selling. So like,
Pardon?
why you haven't been selling? Of course.
Yeah.
But can you help a coach learn how to make their first 10K?
Yeah.
How?
Well, then I'm like, oh my God, can I? But like, yeah. Let's narrow down on their niche. Let's narrow down on their program. Like I like 100% believe in like creating the program. Well, it makes it so much easier to sell. And then we need to be talking to the people.
How? Like this is where you're like, it's like the things that like you're not just talking like it's like I'm gonna teach you how to market, but I'm also gonna teach you how to like position yourself.
Yeah,
Like to how to it's like they need to talk to the people. It's like they need to do networking
yeah.
events with they need to get probably some way that they can position themselves.
What do you mean?
Like the um what Demetria was saying is that like her networking group, they gave her a chance to do a little speaking thing.
Yeah,
And so it's like and like they like so it's like position yourself as an expert, get presentations.
yeah. I think
Podcast.
presentations, even if it's your own or on people's thing.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah, you're basically just your focus is then just to get your message out there as in many ways as possible.
So it's like this is
And
out.
then I'm going to teach them about content as well, because I'm going to give people a basic understand, you know what I mean? Like, because that's a big thing of people getting confused.
Yeah, so it's like you want to find new people and you want to nurture new.
Yeah, exactly. So connect, content, and then convert. That's my 3 C's.
Oh my God, that's really it? I love it. Wait, connect, content, convert.
Mhm. Connection. I think I was playing about with it, but like, yeah, connection, content, and convert. Connect, content. I don't know if that makes sense because connect and then content's not like a doing word, is it? So I need to play with it. But
Connect, create.
basically,
What about create?
huh? Yeah. Okay. Connect, create, convert. Yay, I love it.
Right? Well, okay, what's your thought right now?
Yeah, I feel better about this because I'm like not pitching at people that are like the same as me.
Right, exactly. Nobody would feel good about that, right? Like, so
No.
it's like, what would you, so is it like, what is the feeling you have right now?
So when I think about pitching at brand new people, it's like I'm confident I can help them.
What would you do? Can you do a webinar for these people?
Well, my webinar that I'm planning to do this month is about niche. So like this would work for them. I just need to market it in a way that's for like new people that are struggling with their niche and, give examples of like what that looks like. Like, so for example, like if someone's talking about something vaguely, I'm like, that is because you're not clear. Like,
Mhm.
they can just keep coming up with examples of like how that all feeds back to niche being the problem. Then in the webinar, I'm going to teach them how to get clear on their niche. And then I'll zoom out and say, and this is just one part of it. Like, these are all the parts that I'm going to teach you in the Coaching Business Accelerator.
What? Oh my God, and listen to the way you say it. I love the way, like, it's like your accent with it is so fun. I was like, it just like makes me so happy. I'm like, it's just, yeah, it's the accelerator. So it's like, how many clients do you assign this month? How many awesome newbies that have really struggling? How many?
Yeah, I want to collect. That's what I want to think about. It's like I want to collect in all the newbies, the people that are like just in freeze mode, just consuming, just in freeze mode, like watching but not doing very much. Like I want to collect them all and say, and my thing is like it's one-on-one. It is not a group quote program that you could get lost in. Like I want to like be like, I'm going to hold your hand in a nice way. I don't know if I want to say that because I don't want people that I need that'll, that won't do the work. So I need to be
I say like
careful.
it's like I will be your guide and support you 100% of the way. Like,
Yeah.
and so I have on here, I was like your I would say do a Q&A. I'm gonna put this link in, but like it was so powerful for me, like to be like, what haven't I said to get these people to buy? First off, I don't think you knew these are your people. So I'm like, I'm curious as if you sign a new client this week, literally because of this clarity.
Yeah.
I know they're in your audience. They're 100% there. Like,
Yeah.
and I think I've got confidence in that. I think you might be like, they're not in my audience. I think they are. They are 100% in your audience. They at least everyone, I know that's like, but everyone in your audience, would their business hurt from making 10K more?
No, of course not.
Can you teach everyone at any level how to make 10K more?
Yeah.
Okay. Within that, why would it be better? It's like you can pay 3K and wait months to it's like you're either gonna spend time or money.
Yeah, and you mean, and this is what I'm saying to my people,
Mhm.
because I need to, if I'm saying I'm going to teach you how to make 10K, although I'm not like, I'm not doing like a guarantee though, right? I'm not
You don't
saying
need to, you
like,
don't need to, but it's like you can throw spaghetti at a wall or do a proven process that works.
yeah, yeah,
And I will tell you, it works if the more people do these 3 C's, it always works.
yeah,
You're not doing the 3 C's.
no. But
And
I'm not doing them either right now. But I think this has been
but
why.
this is why I was like, but if you were to think about that, the things that you're not doing, right? Not networking, not having conversations, if they were at the beginning of their business, would you want to talk with them?
Yeah,
Why? What would you be thinking?
I can help them.
Yes. And be like, what, how does that feel?
Yeah, that feels good. I feel like, I know good's not a feeling, but like, or,
Be like determined, like I'm gonna find them. Like,
yeah. I think I would feel more confident like in these groups of like when I know they are, of like speaking up to them rather than,
and they're probably the quietest in the group.
yeah.
They're scared, they're trying to,
And what is good is that I think sometimes like a new coach, or maybe not, but like a new coach, if it's like pitching for 6 figures, they might be a bit intimidated by that, being like, well, I'm not going to jump to that in 6 months. Whereas I can say, look, I am the one that helps you get off the blocks. Like I am the one that helps you lay the foundations to make your first 10K as a coach, and then repeat that process to keep making 10K, 10K, 10K.
I want you to just take a look at this, okay?
Mhm.
It's a $1 billion industry.
Yeah.
In it 54%. I think when you were talking about like why did the industry like explode, and then it's like hungry people are getting it. It's like there are 34,000 certified coaches
Mhm.
just in the US.
Yeah.
109,000 coaches worldwide.
Yeah.
So we know that this is working. Companies are hiring coaches.
Yeah.
68% of people who hire coaches make their investment back. We
Yeah.
also know that the average income is 40, it's like 40% or 40K a year. I put all this in here for you. But I want you to think about like, first off, I think that now that we've just shifted your person, I think it's going to be a big shift for you. But like,
Yeah.
why would they hire you over any other business coach? How do they know it's not for them? Why would you include mindset coaching? And again, these are my questions. Like, why would you do one-on-one over a mastermind? What does it look like when we work behind the scenes together? Do I guarantee results? You guarantee that you're going to teach them how to market, sell. They're going to teach them how to connect, create, convert. The timing depends. But if you are ready to do that, this is for you. You know what I mean? How fast will I get results? Why should I do a consult now? How is this going to get me faster than any other program?
Yeah.
Is this the best use of my resources? These are the questions they're asking themselves. If they get on a consult call with you, they know they're going to want to buy.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel different about it now actually because I'm thinking of like new people. Whereas before I was like, I didn't want new people because I was like, oh, they won't have money, they won't want to invest in it. And so on, I had all these thoughts about it.
Yes. And so I want you to start doing this like FAQ in your marketing before you get to the webinar. And then like, let's sign a client. Let's sign a client this week.
So will you put that FAQ there?
Hmm? This is the example that I showed you. Oh, here, hold on. It's like, I'll put this in here. Nadia's. Yeah, I think that like you just haven't been selling to your ideal client.
Yeah, I think I've just been just posting general, although it's been targeted to coaches and making money and whatever, it's still,
Oh, it's been great content. I love watching what you do. I think it's amazing. And I also think that like this is why you haven't been selling.
yeah. Yeah, there's been
And
that, and it's just been holding me back. And I've been trying to talk myself out of it, being like, but no, I'm a business owner. I know how to build businesses.
I know. Let's just like focus on what you know. Like, let's just
Yeah.
focus on your confidence. I was like, so it's like I've talked with so many people and they're like, why are you not selling to the multiple 6-figure earners? Why? They were like, you know, you can help them. And my confidence isn't there yet. I was
Yeah.
like, even though I work with someone who made 700 last year, she's gonna make 1.5 probably this year. Like I know that I'm good with multiple 6-figure earners, and it's not my confidence.
Yeah.
I'm building it up as I grow. I
Yeah.
am going to have a 7-figure systems for fucking sure. I'm working on
Yeah,
it myself,
exactly.
but I don't have that proven process just yet. I'm figuring it out. So I'm not going to sell 7-figure systems when it's not something I'm confident in. I'm
Yeah,
gonna sell the
exactly.
fuck out of 6-figure systems. I'm like, I know what it took to get here.
Yeah.
And it's this on steroids. Like it's the exact same thing that you're teaching.
Yeah.
So I think you're a side client this one.
Yeah, for sure. And I think I feel better about when I'm talking to people about it because I'm like, I feel less like I did before.
And you can ask them where they're at in their business. Like I tell people, I'm like, if they're further along and I don't, or it's not if they're further along. Which is interesting. I was like, why haven't I brought more people out further along? And I'm like, because I'm not marketing to them. Answer. I was like, but within I had somebody who was like, I want to sell a subscription box to widows. And I was like, here's how I can help you. Be honest, this is what I do not know how to run ads. I'm not going to help you to do that. Is this still the best choice of your investment? And we can let them choose. But I
Yeah.
think that like any client who is paid at least the fucking life coach goal, $25,000.
It's insane.
And that's why I was like that post that Jackie did. I was like, I just love that. Like for
What
you,
did she say again? I can't remember.
it was like you got certified and you expected this is going to take over. It was going to be your full-time job, and it's not. I'm sorry you thought it's like I'm sorry if you thought that certification was all you needed to build a career.
Yeah.
This,
And that's the same for coaching.
I'm like, I would love for you to do this post.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that post.
Certification does not, and you know what? Doesn't equal a business. I intellectually totally understood that getting certified would not get me more clients. However, when I did get that degree, I was so excited for the 0 people that were thrilled. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, you're kidding me? I spent all this fucking money and nobody gives a fuck. Oh,
Yeah.
like I figure out a way to make them care.
Yeah.
Like, and there are so many other business coaches, but think about what makes you different, right? It's like not only have I created a successful life coaching business, but I also created a successful regular business. I have perspective that these other coaches who were coaching coaches don't have. They are
Yeah.
missing the outside perspective. They don't know how to connect like I do. They don't know how to create in a different way that I do. They don't know how to convert like I do.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I do need to work on that. Like, what makes me different from someone else doing it? I'm like, I don't know.
100% my go-to is I run 2 other businesses.
Yeah.
Like that's what makes you different. That you have 2 businesses, 2 successful businesses.
So I've got like but this is what I was thinking before. I've got business experience and I'm a certified life coach.
Yes.
But if I'm telling that to coaches, they might be like, yes, so am I.
But they have, and you create a successful life coaching business. You just decided to create a business coaching business. This is your 3rd business.
Yeah.
Do you like that's how I view you? I'm like, this is your 3rd business.
Yeah. Well, technically 4th, but
Jesus, say this in your marketing. Like, yeah, it's like I have been the owner and creator of 4 businesses. Other people haven't.
yeah.
In one thing. I would say that I had a career coaching business, a general life coaching business before I had a business coaching business. And I did scale that to 6 figures. So I'm like, even if you were general, I did hit 6 figures before I switched to business.
Did you? Did you hit 6 figures before you went to business coach?
Yep. It was 119 with general.
Okay.
But I am teaching people, don't use this against you. I was like, I swear to God, I was like, I did because I teach 6 figures.
Yeah,
It's
but
like,
I'm
I
not trying
can
to teach that. I'm trying to teach, get
just
your
the
business off
beginning.
the ground.
Did you get all 4 of these businesses off the ground?
Yes, for sure.
You know what I mean? So you know how to get a business off the ground.
Yeah. Do you think that sounds desirable when I say that? Like, get your coaching business off the ground?
Fuck yeah. After certification, I was like, can somebody just help me fucking get this off the ground? That was the reason why I gave those words. They were my words.
Yeah.
I was like, can
Because
somebody
I say that all the time in to my head. Like I help people get, if I'm to explain it to you, but I never say it in my marketing because I'm like, does that sound like good?
if it's something you're saying in your head a lot, I would say yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And
Yeah, so I'm going to go back to more like, instead of being like fully booked, I'm going to be like, business off the ground. These are the problems you're facing. This is how I'm going to help you fix them.
It's like, how long has it been since your last post? Do you post consistently every week? I'm the best at it. My
Yeah.
content is good.
Yeah, and do you know what to post? Because I didn't know. I remember it would take me all day, and then I would just give up and be like, "This, I don't even know what I'm saying."
And exactly. And it's like, and isn't this a new Instagram account?
Yeah,
I grew my account from 0 to 2,000 followers.
yeah, yeah. I suppose to some people that would be good. To me, I'm like, that's not very good. But like to some people, that would be good. New people.
Yeah. I used my old one and I had like, I probably had like around like 600 or 800 people following me beforehand because I had
Yeah.
Instagram in college.
Yeah.
I wonder if we can see those stats. I wonder. I'm like, yeah, anyways, it would be interesting, to see like, but I don't know if you can see
See
it.
what?
The stats for how, oh,
Like you grew.
it's like, yeah, be like account information. Let's see how many, like, I wonder if they have this. Yeah. It's like an activity download. I don't know. But it's like, I'm sure there's a way you can see. It's like how many, like just like what you see with your email list.
Yeah.
Oh my God, look at what I've liked. They're like, you're chaotic. I like everything also, which is funny. Like I'm like a serial liker. You're like.
Mhm.
Like, but 0 to 2K? Fuck yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to grow from like, I'm like, if you're like, I can teach you a way to get 2,000 more followers, your stuff is very catchy, Nadia. I love your marketing. I'm like,
You think so?
oh my God, I'm obsessed. I was like, I think that because I was thinking about like, what is the difference between, I was like, why my number of followers had stayed pretty consistent, minus a couple giveaways I've done. Like, why aren't more new people following me? And I'm like, oh, because I'm not trending. Like, I haven't
Mhm.
figured out the way to like say things in a way that's like, oh, that's cute. And I was like, sorry, I haven't seen that yet. I was like, but now I'm like, I told my social media manager, I'm like, what are people buy? Like, it's like, why would somebody decide to follow me and things like that? And I was like, ooh, like, I thought that was fun. I'm like, having a quiz in there would get people to interact some more. Like it's like random stuff. I'm like, she did this really cool thing. She was like, these are my healthy alternatives, but she put her, it was like just a cool thing. I was like, that's so fucking cool. I was like, she's like giving away her recipes. She's like, get ready to screenshot of,
Yeah.
it's so good. And she's like, this is why mine's better. Like, look at her marketing. I was like, that is a really cool way to talk about it. Here's what you need. Here are the macros. Make sure you screenshot it and save this for later. I was
Yeah,
like,
she's asking for engagement.
yes,
So right now in your marketing, you're marketing to your people.
I'm
But
doing an amazing job of nurturing, not bringing cold people. You
yeah,
go
you
in,
need to work on cold people to bring
and
them
that's what
in.
you know how to do.
Yeah.
And that's a skill that they need at the beginning too. They need that at the
Yeah.
beginning and further along. And you're nurturing your current people. I want to offer that. Like, I fucking love your content. Like, it's
Yeah.
awesome. But it's like it's about free. It's not about the money. It's about the freedom. I was like, I would say it's about the money and it's about the freedom. It's like this is the number one thing is like have transparent. It's like I am so lucky that when I first started my business, I had amazing role models who were very clear about money. It's like if I hadn't, as a woman, I never would have thought I was capable of this. Just from the
Yeah.
society, even though my parents told me I could be anything I wanted to be, rich was never one of them.
Yeah.
But a lot of that's about it. It's like, but like these kind of things that people would share.
That's a good post.
Aren't all these good? I was like, yeah. I was like,
No, what you just said.
it's going to be right after this launch. I was like, I already have the post like ready, but I'm like, more
Yeah.
women need to make more money. I've got stats like because now I've learned since I wrote my copy. I'm like, these people are my people. They love data. They're organized people. I'm not selling to them enough.
Yeah, that's so true.
I was like, if they were like to see that, like, do you want to be in the top 1%? How about the top 0.2%? Those are the only people that make money as coaches. I want to help you get there.
Yeah, isn't that like sad though? As a
Well,
stat.
for me, I want to sell to like, I've also know that my people are super ambitious and they're like,
Yeah.
tell me I won't and I will.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean? Like they're kind of like I've got the achievers. They're like,
Yeah.
okay, well, what the fuck do I need to be in the top two? Like for me, my motivation is always like, well, I want to be in the top 0.2%. Like that's me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I fucking want that. It's like if you want to be there, surround yourself with people who are there. That's fucking
Yeah.
important. Like, but you know how to do this. Where is I here? I was like, these are all it's like love notes to like it's like I'm not very like I am, which is interesting. Like I am very lovey to you. Like it's like I just maybe I should be more loving to my people. But I'm like, that is a thought. Fun, fun. I was like, yeah, but I'm loving to you, but like they need to do work to deserve my love. What the fuck, Megs? But it's like here are some notes to like people just starting off in their business. It's like just positive quotes and shit. Also, like I'm like, oh, but that creates more engagement. That gets people excited. It's like, what's something you do
Yeah.
next? I consume as much
Yeah,
time.
you need to go into a growth phase because the great thing with you though is you've got the back end figured out. Like you've got the systems, you've got the sales, you've got like you know how to bring people in. So
Mhm.
now you just need to grow your reach
And
and
that's
then it's
like
going to explode.
I really like it's that's my 7-figure system.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know how to create content? Let's grow your content.
Yeah.
Because you shouldn't care about it at the beginning. To clarify, anybody who's watching this back, you should not give a fuck about likes and follows and shit. But at the 7-figure level, my goal is to, I think that personally, I found that it's very, at your first 6 figures, you're just trying to build up your one-to-one interactions. It's like all about that like personalized connection. You're not good at copy unless you were professionally a writer previously. So you're not going to sell cold people off of your content. It is a necessary evil that you just need to be consistent with. That is like, that's why I created the system for it. I was like, I recognize that the algorithm would reward me and my people needed to see consistency, but it wasn't the thing that was bringing people in. So I created a system to automate that. But now at this level, I'm like, I'm learning the skill of selling cold to hot. Like somebody like reading a post like you want to be in the top 0.2% of coaches in the industry, I can help you get there. It's like
Yeah.
the reason why more people aren't there is because they're not consistent with their marketing. Like why is this the state? They aren't consistently marketing, they don't know how to sell, they aren't creating really good plans, they don't know how to generate and nurture leads. That is what I do. Like let's solve this problem together. You know
And
what I mean?
how do you come up with, like, obviously I know your content process, right? The 3 types. But how do you come up with the ideas of like what problem you're going to talk about? And like, you know, like how do
Good
you
question. I would say that like so for me, I'll think about stuff on coaching calls. And I'll like actually a lot of times when if I'm going back, I did a lot of stuff. I would write stuff down on my anything that I found valuable in my in 200K. And so I would go and I'd write down and be like, they need this at this level. Like, do you want to make your business feel like joy? It was like a castle of love and light. I'm like, that was funny. But I'm like, it's like I want to teach you how to take 8 years of business that you've been working on and put it into 1 year. It's like a resilient CEO goes to the athletic event and you have to just like go for it. You just have to keep pushing yourself forward. Nothing has gone wrong. This is what you've been training for. If you're tired, don't give up. This is like you're about to see the results. You're about to see gold. You just can't give up. But I would take all this stuff. This is like literally like when I was in 200K. These were random ass thoughts that I had on 200K that shifted me and moved me in a positive direction. And I shared that. Like, look at this.
Yeah.
Like I just took crazy notes because I was like, what did I change? Make decisions on the best clients. Why am I the better coach? That was like a huge thought I had at the beginning. I was like, why would they choose me over somebody else? I love to sell. If you don't love to sell, it's because you don't have a system for it. Sign up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
literally like just took a bunch of notes on other coaching calls and I saw what other people were getting coached on, felt a shift. And this is when I was general coaching too. My first 2 rounds of 200K were general.
Okay.
Yeah.
And can you explain, sorry, I know you're taking time, but like see PSPR. I know you've got that in when you're doing the but do you use PSPR in your post?
So
What does
essentially,
it mean? I don't really understand it.
yeah. So essentially, like the way that you should or like the Stacy PSPR way is that you go through their problem, their solution, process, results. You can go in an interchangeable way. I think that you guys have seen my coaching or my posting, and it's not that way always. It's like, okay, the problem is that they don't know how to get 6 figures by working 8 hours a week. It's like the solution is come to the webinar. The process is when you get to the webinar, you're gonna get these details, and the result is like, I want to show you how it's possible. So I guess that could be PSBR. I don't always do it.
So do you mean so that in her teaching it should be in every post, like the problem, the solution?
Yeah, it's like, so it's like the problem is like they haven't created and founded a coaching business this year. It's like it'll resonate you with any stage. The solution is what she said. I'm ready to make the impact. Time for a consult.
So what's the solution? I don't understand. So like say there's a problem, like say a new person of mine is like, the problem is she's not posting.
Okay, so it's like the problem is like you sit down to post and you're not posting. Why?
Because they just get all tangled up in knots in their head. They don't know what they're meant to be saying. And you know, they just overthink it basically.
Okay, so that's the problem. Overthinking was the solution.
Is to have, well, the solution would be to have a strategy, like as in like, you know,
What's your
know
strategy?
what,
What's the process? What's it called?
I don't know. What do you mean? Like my process or
Yeah, what's your process word called?
I don't really have a process word. I don't know what you mean.
I think we have one. I was like, nope, wrong round. I was like,
Do you mean the client engagement system?
yes. So
Okay,
it's like, I'm
sorry.
gonna teach you, and you can be like, talk about one of these. You could be like, it's like, this is a piece of my client engagement system,
Okay.
and the result you'll have is easy marketing.
Okay, so the problem is overthinking. But the same problem is that they're not posting, right? So that would be both.
Mhm.
And then the solution is you need a strategy to simplify your thoughts and get it out. And then the process is part of the client engagement system. Or I might have another one for content, I think, because it doesn't make sense really. And then the result is easy, simple marketing where you don't overthink. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, cool.
But you could also do it, be like, so it's like, this is one way. It's like option 1, option 2 through million is like, you could start with the R, then you could go to this P,
Right, okay, do it back to front.
right? You can do option 3, mix it up, and just be like, it's like, do you, it's like the client engagement strategy is something you need to stop overthinking so that you can make your marketing simple and easy. And I want to give you a strategy to make it simple.
Ah, right, okay, that's quite cool.
Mhm.
So you can mix it up.
Mix and match.
Yeah. Okay, cool. No, that's interesting. Thanks. 'Cause I was never really clear on it.
Yeah,
what you
but
were
it's like,
doing.
but I think that the biggest thing is that you weren't clear on your person.
Yeah, I think that's been no, yeah, totally. That was just a question I had in my mind in general. But yeah, totally. I think I've just been like torn inside because I'm like, oh, this doesn't feel good.
And I totally get that. Like if someone is like sell 7-figure systems right now, I'd be like, I could
Yeah.
probably help you. I'm at 200 for the rolling 12. So there's 800. My brain would be like, I've got 800. And I don't want to give you unhelpful thoughts because you can still help people, someone who's at an 800K. Like literally someone can get support from you at any
Yeah,
level.
I believe that because I believe I'm a good coach, and I believe the majority of it is your thoughts, right? And so
I
I
totally
know
agree.
that I can actually help people. It's more the kind of strategy and follow through, and because I'm dealing with the same stressors, you know what I mean?
Exactly. So it's like, but I would be like, my brain would be like, there's 800 that I haven't figured out in a 12-month span.
Mhm.
So what, like, it's like there might be stuff that I don't feel super confident in. Like if someone was like, I think that a part of my 7-figure strategy is ads. I do think that it's
Yeah.
gonna be something I incorporate in there. I like
Yeah.
to be, you know, I like to keep it lean. So I'm like, I'm not trying to yeah, anyways, I don't want to have something. I'm still going to have Krista, the one who did ads for Corinne and stuff, she's gonna do a training in May for the group to be like, here's how you do ads that get you a fuck ton of, she's gotten me a fuck ton of people. My copy just isn't good enough to convert them just yet. It will. It's converted some. I take that back. It's converted some. It's not
Convert
at
to what though? What do you mean
clients.
that? What?
Yeah. So like she's gotten me a fuck ton of clients or a fuck ton of email people. And it's still the same people that are opening it up. Still the
Ah, right. So
same,
you're not converting. So you're getting loads of leads.
right. But
Right.
no cold traffic. So she's going to be like, you want to get more leads? Here's a really easy ad that you can do. She might do it in May or in June. We haven't figured it out because she's really
But
busy.
then, so sorry to interrupt, but like, are your ads, what are they opting into? Is it your webinar?
Oh, my testimony template. That's going to be another thing in like the 7, it's like having a freebie.
But why don't you do your ads to your webinars?
She said that it's more effective. So if we think about like your funnel, right? We want to have a free low time investment to start. Then you
Mm,
want to like higher time investment, maybe like even pay, like it's like then you can play around with it. But the
mhm.
consult is like an hour or 30 minutes and the investment. So it's like
Yeah.
we want to like give tiers of that.
Okay.
But I would say like for everybody else, that's why I wouldn't recommend doing a freebie right now. It's like you don't really probably need to get a huge email following and you don't need to do ads right now unless you want to. Like you just need to, because the thing is, if I was worse at copy, right? If I was like not good at all, this would be way higher.
Yeah.
It would be a fuck ton of people that would like be like done. It's easy to unsubscribe now. It's very, it's difficult to keep the subscribers coming.
Okay.
So that's one of the reasons why I'm like, I don't want to teach this right now because if you're not good at, if you're not posting every single week, right? And you don't have a way that you can at least get the marketing out there. And if you don't have a way that you're converting sales in a really high way, it's a waste of money, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you don't even know what you're like selling them to. You have to test out stuff at the free level. You got to test freebies, like do that kind of stuff. Like, but I would test freebies after you've made 100K. I wouldn't say test freebies right now. That's again, I know it's different than some other people in the industry, but I'm like, you just want to get fucking people on the consult.
Yeah.
Like the webinar is, I would say, the best freebie you can do. I wouldn't
Yeah.
be testing email funnels and shit. I'm like, that's way too high of a level.
Yeah, but do you not think I should do? Because I was like, why don't I do an ad to the webinar to get more people on the webinar, and then I can hopefully convert there.
You would give it a try if you want to. Like, but again, I would not think about it. It's like when I started doing ads, I was like, this is like fun money that I'm like not going to consider like in as like a huge investment.
Yeah, no,
You
I would have
can.
put
I was
crazy
like,
money on it.
yeah, but she was saying that like get them on your list, sell them to your webinar.
No, get them on by signing up to the webinar.
And yeah, and so Chris's stance is get them on your
Get them on the
list.
email list and then sell
Then
them to the webinar.
right. But it's like
Right.
it's like so many people at the 6 figures level. And that's why it's like if anybody's watching this back, please don't listen to this because it's like at the 6-figure level, you just need to get fucking content out there. You testing a bunch of other stuff, you have 13%. 13% is all that people see of your posts, and 17 of them, they need to see an offer. So if you're fucking around with like, not fucking around, it's like you can do whatever you want, but it's like if you are doing all these other opt-ins and confusing the fuck out of your audience, they aren't going to sign up for a consult. And you at this stage need just consults. You just need to get people booking a consult. You need to get them knowing what they do when they work with you. You need to explain that, in my opinion. This is my 6-figure system. And then when we get past the 6-figure level, sure, let's fuck around. If you know how to get consults, you know how to get clients, let's fuck around with doing a couple freebies. Sure,
Yeah.
do an ad or two. Like maybe try a new offer. Like, you know, it's like, but it's like, because then you kind of have like not fuck you money, but like you've got funds, you're not hurting for cash. Like
Yeah.
most people, I was like, there are some people that like they make 6 figures and they're like, oh. But again, that's why I teach what I teach, because I'm like, for more people to spend more money after you get certified, after you're doing all this shit, it's like and you're probably not very good at copywriting. If you can convert warm to hot, that's you have to figure that out first before you're converting cold to hot,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, that's a fair one.
Like if you're not converting
Com-
people with that are coming to you for free, it's even harder. From what I found, yeah, it's like even harder to bring people on that like don't know me, they don't like me, they don't trust me. Every
Yeah.
single email I have to say systems work for your business. I can't just like keep giving value. It's like they need to be sold on systems every single time or they'll unsubscribe.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, been a learning curve. And that's why I hired a copywriting coach, because I was like, I see this as a gap. I was like, I am not good at converting cold yet. I'm learning.
Yeah.
And then it
Yeah.
doesn't feel as scary.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
You feel
Right.
loved.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time. I'm so sorry it took so long.
Oh my gosh, of course. You were it's like, let's get a picture of you and me, and then I'm sorry, everybody else. And then we'll get everybody else next week. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Amazing. Okay, well, I love you, lady. I will
Okay.
see everybody next week.
Okay.
Yeah, see
Bye.
you soon. All right. Bye.